Great.
Yep.
Should give him a lot more money.
You know what? There's a guy.
Shouldn't have pissed him off.
There's a guy who could be as big a star outside of Shaquille. Shaq, as you say, or whatever your guy says.
I don't say
that guy. That guy.
What do you mean that guy? That's not that guy. Geldy.
Anyway, Wongo's phenomenal.
Geldy. Have you got something going on with him, too?
No, I like Geldy. I hope he does well.
I know those two aren't exactly getting along too well. In fact, probably somebody not too happy that Geldy did such a super job. You know, because play-by-play guys tend to be very jealous of each other, especially if they have like a big pompous ego.
I was going to say, the good ones aren't.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
No, they're not. They don't care. They just go out and do their stuff. They're not jealous of the other guys.
Mm-hmm. Don't start with this hockey talk. Greg Kotex.
Oh, we're talking play-by-play guys.
In case you hadn't noticed, Greg Kotex writes in the Herald this morning, let's bring back the Rats. To hell with the NHL. You know, this guy is such a moron. He always has been, always will be. He's an idiot. Absolute idiot. They're not going to bring back the Rats. They can't throw crap on the ice. It was a really stupid-ass idea in the first place. Only in Miami would people come up with that. It just ain't going to happen.
Well, they did ask for permission.
Yeah,
they haven't heard back yet.
Yeah, well, they better not get permission. It's so stupid to delay. The whole concept of a lot of these changes is to speed the game up as opposed to slowing it down every time they score a goal to have to take 500 rats off the ice.
You think?
Crap.
I looked at the scores today, and with a couple of exceptions, there weren't that many high-scoring games.
No, Leafs blew their game in the last couple of minutes and then wound up losing on the shootout in overtime. I hate that shootout. Boy, that is...
yeah, that's not sports.
So stupid, no. I mean, either it's a hockey game or it's a shootout. You know, make up your mind. Are you playing hockey rules or is this? They're just doing it because they're desperate to try to add new viewers, and it's not going to happen in the States. They're not going to get new viewers because they changed some rules.
They're not going to get new viewers on the Outdoor Channel.
Oh, on OLN. I got that here. You got it on your cable? You better get that OLN locked in. Okay.
Well, then maybe not. I don't know. I was watching the game last night on Sports Channel.
In fact, let me see. Where's the, I think it's 3-4. I don't even know where the hell to find it. Oh, that's bad. Here it is.
That's Camping Out for this week. I'm Emma Brown. Thanks for watching.
Camping Out. She's camping out, on the, OLM channel. She's camping out.
Oh, I'll have to go watch that.
I'm sorry, she's camping out. Yeah. Oh, brother. So we're real excited about Geldy, and Panthers are going to win their division this year. They're going to kick some ass. They're going to get in the playoffs for the first time in a while, and there'll be a lot of phony bandwagon jumpers. I was displeased to see that. Who was the one that told me? Maybe it was Greg Cote. One of the articles that I read was that there were a lot of empty seats, even though they claimed
5,000, I heard.
Empty seats?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. They got a long way to go to get people back. In what's not a sports town anyway. It's a football town. That's it.
That was Dave Hyde's column today.
Oh, that's the one I read, yeah.
Yeah, where he said that
5,000 empty seats. Not good for opening night.
Sports town have a point.
When the Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning come to town tomorrow night, there better not be no 5,000 empty seats, or I'm going to start asking a lot of serious questions.
Well, Moeller told me. Moeller said that they only had about 1,000 tickets left for tomorrow night.
Yeah. Randy Moeller?
That guy.
That silly clown, the mascot. He ought to replace Stanley C. Panther, just be the team mascot. He works very hard.
You don't like Moeller?
No, I didn't say. Oh, now you're starting, man. His wife is probably listening right now. Don't ever say something that she can grab onto. She's the most sensitive thing in the world. All I did.
Oh, I like him.
No, I like Randy. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
He goes very far now into being his role in life is to be a silly goose. He wants to be a silly person, and he's doing a hell of a job at it. But nevertheless. But you know me, I don't like anybody. I'm just a hard ass. You know, you're just an old softy, and I kind of like balance things out.
I'm just old.
You like everybody. You're just real easy guy, and I'm just a hard ass, a relentless bastard that never lets up on the world. Just pop.
I don't like everybody.
Yeah, well, give me a name of somebody that you can't stand. Well, see, that would not. Wait a minute. Somebody outside the building that you can't stand.
Oh. that kind of takes away my ammunition.
Yeah, well, come on, let's hear it. Besides, that wouldn't be any big revelation.
I must be crazy. I must be nuts.
Yeah, give me
I don't like him.
John Henry.
Oh, can't stand him.
How about Wayne?
You know what? I don't have huge problems with Wayne like a lot of people do. Nah.
You better not start talking about the food in the press box again.
That wasn't him.
Who was that?
It was a guy who was the president of the stadium.
Oh, I see.
Wayne, do you think Wayne cares what I say about the food in the stadium?
I don't know. I know he cares about some of the stuff. He cares about some of the stuff people say, because I remember the time that we had to put Zagacki on air. That's before I came to the station. And they took you off the air while he was he was calling you from his plane or something, the story goes, and Zagacki was on the air for a few minutes while you were getting instructions from Wayne about some damn thing. And then he did the same thing with Mad Dog. Don't you remember on his very first broadcast? His very first game with the Dolphins.
Yeah, Wayne went in the booth.
He came in the booth, and you better know what you're talking about. He was talking about the...
I've never had a problem with the guy, and I haven't always...
Stadium and about
and I've been critical about some things. He's never said a word.
Yeah.
Yes, Hank.
Oh... Yeah, he's our main man.
No, the guy with the thin skin is the Marlins.
Really? Oh, are you going to start with that again?
No.
We won the World Series.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, good luck.
David Samson? You don't mean David, you mean Jeffrey Luria.
No, Luria's fine.
We did it!
Oh, you mean David Samson is the one that's got the thin skin?
Yes.
God, if I had a voice like that, I don't think I could afford to have thin skin. Maybe that's why he's got a voice like that, because he's got thin skin.
I like Luria. He's all right.
Really? Well, see, I'm learning something already this morning. I thought your problem was the other way around. Their problem.
No, I've had conversations.
So in other words, it was
with
David Samson that went on the other station, on Joel Feinberg's station, and said Hank say whatever he said. Ripped you an ass.
That was not Luria.
I see. So it was David Samson, but you can't say it. Hank wants to say it was David Samson, but you better not.
No, it was. I don't have a problem saying that.
He'll get P-valed again. Well, you better not say it. Oh, that's on my time now. That's okay. It's after 10. You get P-valed again.
Yeah, that's as far as I'll go with it.
Yeah. So the Dolphins are going to be 3-1 after Sunday. They're playing a girls' team, and everybody in town. And you know
don't
something?
Count your chickens.
I hate to say this, but as mediocre as the league, and I don't care what you say. I mean, I see a lot more football than you do because I have the luxury of being home with the package and see all the games.
I see all the games, too.
How do you do that?
Last Sunday, I was at the Fox offices in New York. I watched every game.
Really? Yeah, but that usually doesn't happen.
Well, on Sundays, if the Dolphins aren't home or if I'm not covering a game, I'll go. Even last week, 2 weeks ago when I was at the Dolphin game, I watched all the late games afterwards.
But the fact of the matter is the league is so unbelievably weak and watered down. That
a lot of bad teams.
They just might be okay. They might be all right. And, of course, the Patriots, I'm not making excuses, but when you lose both your coordinators and when you lose Teddy Bruschi and now Rodney Harrison for the season, man, they're defenseless. They can't stop anybody. I mean, those are the two stalwarts on defense.
Yeah, they really missed them last week.
Those are two hard guys to replace.
Well, this week they go into Atlanta. We'll see what happens there.
Well, if they can't beat Atlanta, man, forget about it.
Atlanta's good.
But you know something? What have they got to prove? They won 3 Super Bowls in 4 years, and some of these children sending me faxes now. Oh, well, the Dolphins are 2-1, and your team is 2-2, and they really suck. Yeah, right. Tell me in about 7 or 8 weeks what the situation is. You losers, you bandwagon. Seriously, I can't imagine. I know it's human nature anywhere. There are a certain number of people that always want to jump on a bandwagon and be part because they have no life, you know.
Absolutely correct, sir.
And
I was talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
About guys, like these University of Miami boosters.
Oh yeah.
Eternal sophomores
in the world. That's right.
That's what they are. They just.
That's right.
Never can give up
children.
to you.
I've never seen anything as juvenile as I was saying that to George yesterday before the show. The whole of U of M, not just the sports programs, but a lot of the people who are involved there within the university. The whole thing is just so juvenile. I know pretty well because I did those Hurricane baseball games for 6 years, and man, what a bunch of overgrown children, people in the sandbox.
Never gave it up.
And so much politics that goes on there. It's just unbelievable. There's more politics at UM than in Washington. It's amazing. Remember the time we were going to do the game? Remember that?
Oh yeah, and we were
on IOD.
We were banished.
Hank and I were going to do a game.
I forgot about that.
Sonny was in New York or somewhere. He was filling in for Rick Weaver doing a Dolphin game. And so the idea was, since I had broadcast UM baseball for 6 years, 5 on radio, 1 on TV, that we were going to do a game together, which would have been a lot of fun. It would have been fine. And it was vetoed. It was nixed by the Blue Nose Hurricane administration. They didn't want, it had nothing to do with you, but it was more, they didn't want an old pervert like that Neil Rogers on the games. I'd only done them for 6 years, you understand.
I remember when you did them. You were good.
No, I was not good. I was great.
Okay.
Well, I mean, let's call a spade, mister. I did a damn good job there.
You did.
I mean, I was no Mike Rosenthal, but I did the best I could.
You did the games by yourself, too.
No, I did not.
Who did them with you?
What are you talking about? I've done many things by myself, but that wasn't one of them. No, I had Bob Berger on there with me.
Oh, yeah, Bob Berger.
And then I had Mort, what the hell was his name? Mortimer Snurd. I can't think of his last name. Old guy. He was at WS News for about a year. Mort Lubo.
Oh,
what a memory, you know?
Mort Lubo.
You remember Mort Lubo?
He used to do Princeton football.
He was old when he was born. He was about 600 years old. He did the color. And in between those two, I had Dave Lamont, the guy that killed Sonny Hirsch. No, seriously, I used to like Dave. He was a good guy, except he farted constantly during the games and just used to drive me nuts. See, one thing about doing at Marklight Stadium, the Hurricane baseball. No, seriously. Remember, we didn't do the games in the broadcast booth on radio. We did them up on the top of the stairs. We had
I used to. When you first started doing those games, you used to do them down below, right in back of home plate.
No.
I saw you doing games
Never.
Never?
You're dreaming. You're hallucinating. No, we had a spot. You know where the not the main press box, but there was a press box on the side, like on the first baseline, and there was a stairwell, a thing there where we had a booth set up on top of the stairwell. It was perfect, right next to the bleachers. And there was always the aroma of the one thing about that place, man. They really had good food. I mean,
they still do.
Italian sausage and stuff.
They still do.
And the aroma of that would come wafting up while you're sitting there, and then every now and then, oh, geez, Lamont farted again. You know, he just, but he was okay. He's a good guy. And then all of a sudden, when we found out that he and Pete Bolger stabbed Sonny in the back and basically,
Sonny got the job back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came over here.
Was on ESPN. Everybody winds up on ESPN. You know, it ain't no thing. Chris Moron was on ESPN.
Lamont is not on ESPN. He's a sideline reporter for ABC.
Who is?
Lamont.
Oh, Lamont Cranston?
Yep.
Now, I said yesterday I had to, this is going to be a long crossover day because I want to talk about Booster. And even though he's buddies with that idiot Dan LeBastard, the Booster made the right choice. I had been arguing with Josh Cordes for a long time about that. I thought that he would, if you're a signature voice of a team, a major league franchise, whatever sport it is, that you can really become big, But Marlins, especially geographically isolated from the rest of the universe and civilization, I don't think that's the case.
Hey, Boog's doing the playoffs.
Yeah, he did
radio.
the right thing. He's getting a tremendous amount of coverage on ESPN TV and radio, and he's great. That's his call.
And he's going to do other sports.
Yeah. Nice going, Booster. And lose the orange hair, by the way. But, he's going to be very good.
Yep.
So he made the right move. What did we do wrong?
Nothing.
On that note, we're okay.
We're
all right. For the old doddering Jews, we're doing okay.
We're fine.
Did you have Bino on today right after Mike Berardino?
Yes.
Oh, I thought I heard you say that.
Yep. We like to keep it old here.
Let's get Jimmy the Greek back on one more time. Let's pick him up somewhere. Let's get Jimmy back on there.
Yeah, Jimmy would be in vogue today.
Make some racially insensitive comments.
Yeah, exactly.
He could be the next Bill Bennett.
No, nobody could be that bad.
Oh, brother. It's just amazing to me that no matter what these people do on the far right, it just slides off their ass. It's like a rush with the oxy, and the hearing thing and all of that stuff. It's like it never happened. And Bill O'Reilly,
how about Cheney?
Bill O'Reilly with the pervert phone calls, and Bill Bennett with his gambling problem. Oh,
how about Cheney going on Rush's show?
Yeah,
to justify the choice of the Supreme Court.
He had to call into Sean Hannity too, because they had to pacify. They had to assure all the right-wing rabid Nazis that, don't worry, we got control of this bitch.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. You'll see. You think Roe v. Wade's got a chance?
Cheney had to do that. He had to do that call between heart stints.
Yeah. Between knee stints.
Whatever.
He's all knees now.
He certainly isn't all heart.
God is punishing him, man, for his evil ways. Make no mistake about that. And now that Bush is back in the bottle, I think the Lord's punishing him too, because the Lord works in mysterious ways. That's what Franklin Graham said. Did you see that? Billy Graham's kid?
Yes.
Why do they put these people on the air? What is wrong with these people? That's exactly why they put them on, because they're outrageous, they're ridiculous, and they say asinine things that gets everybody pissed off. That's why they put people like Robertson on and Franklin Graham, Falwell. Who the hell cares what those people say? We all know they're crazier than a bedbug. Oh, yeah, and the Bakers, Jim and Tammy Faye, although she does have nice mascara. Yeah, and don't forget Janet Paul Crotch.
That's right.
Boy, we're in the wrong business, man. Tax-free, baby, tax-free. Could you imagine the last 10, 15 years if we didn't have to pay any taxes? We wouldn't be sitting here right now, Gary. I know I wouldn't. No way.
Oh, I would.
Why is that?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, the hell you would. Yeah. You would be in Vegas right now. Would they have like a big Hugh Hefner-like mansion in Vegas and just plunging your guts out every day and living the life of O'Reilly?
That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah. But we just have to keep sticking our nose to the grindstone and grinding it away. Well, listen, it's that time. It's time for my first break already, so.
Glad to help you through the first segment.
Oh, yeah. In fact, let's go till noon is what I'm saying, and I'll take off early. Have a great day. I'll see you, Mañana.
All right, you
and
too.
Happy Tisha B'Av, don't forget.
And to you.
See ya.
All the crap you can unwrap, all the slime, all the time.
Little number, I wrote the
Plantation Tire, South University Drive, Plantation. Hassan's Auto Repair, Northeast 12th, North Miami.
The baseball season is in full swing, and
CC.
Yes.
Thank you very much for finding me. $5,000 a So I'm really out of luck. That's more than Heidi Fleiss was charging me. So you very much, the FCC, for proving that free speech just isn't free.
Absolutely.
Clear Channel's a dear channel, so Howard Stern must go. Attorney General Ashcroft doesn't like strong words, and so he's charging twice as much as all the drugs for Rush Limbaugh. So you all so very much. So you very much, dear Mr. Bush, for heroically sitting on your tush. For Halliburton, Enron, all the companies who fail, let's send them a clear signal and stick Martha straight in jail. She's an uppity rich bitch, and at least she isn't male. So you all so very much. So you Dick Cheney too. You and everything you do. Your pacemaker must be a fake. You haven't got a heart. As far as I'm concerned, you're just a pasty-faced old fart. And as for Condoleezza, she's an intellectual tart. So you all so very much. So you very much, the EPA, for giving all Alaska's oil away. It really is a bummer when I can't fill my Hummer. The ozone's a no-go zone now that Arnold's here to say the nuclear winter games are going to take place in L.A. So you all so very much.
Yes.
So what the planet fails, let's save the great white males. And you all so very much.
I'll tell you, sure, they're going to be like faxing calling in for this new poll today, which we've done before, but it's why not?
Why not?
Faulty Towers.
Okay.
That's spelled Fawlty, I do believe. I never watched it, I don't think, more than like 2 minutes.
It's okay. It was no Monty Python.
I
John
don't think
Cleese
it was funny at all. Yeah, once you see Monty Python, why do you want to see Faulty Towers?
It was just fine.
It was fine?
There was one episode that was very funny because there were a lot of Nazi jokes going on. But
I see. Well, speaking of Nazi jokes.
And conduct their war against non-radical Muslim governments.
It took me 5 minutes to find a channel he wasn't on.
He is a Nazi joke. 10:15 at 560. Look at that, 10:15 already. It's almost time to go home. I'll be...
Agarra la miel, Junior.
George, Dick Cheney told the press he's a little bit ticked off that you didn't visit him in the hospital.
Dick Cheney can off.
Whoa! Is there a problem between you two?
I admitted that Dick Cheney's an ass.
Whoa! So how do you really feel?
Best of all, Dick Cheney's bastard and a faithful Muslim.
Hey, speaking of the Bushmeister.
Oh, Kuwait.
We got that thing back. Nice going there, Eric. You see it very big, although it's way down at the bottom of our website, and unfortunately you'll have to look for it.
Oh, we could move it.
No, I think that's fine. That'll give them an incentive to go from top all the way to the bottom. Yeah, that's fine. Right above Pentagon Strike, which they ought to be looking at that. Now, is that still working, the Pentagon Strike, or is that also...
Click on it.
I don't want to click. I don't have time to click on it. But we got the thing from the Brit tabloid there, the Daily Mirror, I believe it is.
Yes.
And this is bigger, I think, than we had it before. It's just beautiful. Got a picture of your president on there with his hand raised. How can 59,054,087 people be so dumb, is what it asked. And they happen to be.
Absolutely correct, sir.
And that needs to stay on there in perpetuity, okay? It's just, see, not only does he needs to be put in away from the public where we can all be safe, like in a rubber room somewhere. And all the people who voted for him also need to be put in their own rubber rooms. We need a lot of rubber rooms.
The answer about that video is it works.
Good. Excellent. Pentagon Strike. You ought to take a look at that. It'll you'll start thinking about, hey, look at that. Is he playing? Where's he playing go? Maybe Hervé Philichase is in there, too. We just haven't dug him up yet.
I don't normally go in for these conspiracy
Well,
theories,
I'm telling you, it's something you ought to take a puke at.
No, it's just right. Where's that plane? Where's the plane?
And speaking of the insanity of this group of fascist pigs that we have in there now, a suicide car bombing killed 10 more people and wounded 8 others today near the Iraqi oil ministry in Baghdad. It's in the Baghdad.
Why don't you read any of the good news coming from Iraq?
There isn't any. A red Kia minibus exploded on the eastern side of the capital. A roadside bomb also killed a U.S. soldier on patrol on a highway in northwestern Baghdad. The number of U.S. troops killed in Iraq continues creeping up every single day. Now it's 1947, a year that will live in infamy, but a very ugly number in terms of dead soldiers. Died for nothing, absolutely nothing, and Cindy Sheehan is right. If one more dies, it's a crime. Every time another one dies, it's a crime, and there's blood on the hands of everybody who supports this crap, including the spineless Democrats who don't have the balls to stand up and say, enough already, okay? Bring them all home. Put that bunch of ragheads in charge over there. Let them do their own thing, okay? Let them all. It's like the Israelis and the Palestinians, okay? Let them kill each other. And if the Sunnis and the Shias and the Kurds in the way, who cares? Man, they ought to put people for the American way in charge over there, the Kurds. 1,761 votes on our poll yesterday. Most people follow religion because they're pathetic, because they don't have a brain to think for themselves, because somebody filled their head with a lot of crap when they were like a little kid, and they never had the temerity, the balls to question it. Like, hey, this sounds ridiculous to me. This all sounds like a bunch of bubble-mices, okay? That's what the Arabs say.
Right.
Most people follow religion because of brainwashing, 448, and man, you got your thumb right on it, okay? Your thumb right on that first page of Genesis. In the beginning, God created the... Yeah, right, my ass, your mama. He made the stars also. You read the first page of Genesis, and after that, you'd flush that thing down the toilet. Say, what kind of a moron wrote this crap? Fear of death, 437. Oh... Weakness, need for a crutch, 386, which is right in line there with that fear of death thing. Oh, there's got to be a heaven and a hell. And after we die, we're going to go to the pearly gates if we're really, real good. And if we don't touch ourselves. And we go up there and we're going to, like, praise God forever. Oh, God is good. God is good. We won't be doing anything else. And there's no halava up there, but nevertheless, it'll be great. Now, I understand you can have all the banana splits you want up there, even with Haagen-Dazs and Ben & Jerry's, and never gain an ounce.
That's right.
That's a good pull. My idea of heaven is...
Hey, you're on to something
like that?
For the weekend, sure.
I'm going to work on that for tomorrow. See, I shouldn't have said that on the air because then they'll be calling. I don't really care what they do. I don't care. Most people are sheep on 41. It was a late edition and it went zooming into the top 4 nicely. Most people are sheep. God forbid you should think for yourself and ask questions. Would my mother and father really lie to me? They were the same people that told me about Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy and used to put a dime under the pillow. Yeah, it used to be a dime. Can you imagine today if you put a dime under a kid's pillow? They'd throw it back at you. Stupidity, 96. Most people follow religion because they're stupid, 96. Lack of common sense, 68. Because they want to belong to a club, a social club, 65. And many of these organizations, that's why the Jews go to shul on high holidays, not because they're religious, not because they want to hear all that Hebrew mumbo-jumbo from the good book, but because of the fact it's a social club, and they must put in an appearance. You know, it's the good show. Oh, they showed up in shul on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, and yeah, big deal. Guilt, 60. Jewish guilt, Catholic guilt, all the time. And they really believe in fairy tales, 60. Out of almost 1,800 votes. It's very, very sad. You don't need it. You shouldn't want it. Oh, but it gives me such tremendous comfort. Yeah, weak sister, baby. Weak sister. There's nothing worse than being a weak sister, Sledge.
Zealotry that led to the gulags.
He is so illiterate that it's scary, you know what? It's just pathetic. Anytime he pronounces, tries to say a word with more than one syllable, he says it in such a pedantic way, like, hey, look at me, I'm actually pronouncing a word with more than 2 letters in it. Like F-U. Okay, here's today's poll. The funniest TV show of all time. I know we did this before long ago, and too bad, okay? And this isn't one that I went back in the archives for. Somebody sent in a bunch of really marginal poll ideas, which we always thank everybody for them, even if they suck. And, the rest of them were so bad I put this on there. Hey, it's okay. What's the funniest TV show of all time? All in the Family, 75. Is there any doubt? Seinfeld. Oh, I forgot about that one. 58. I'm going to kill myself right now. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Right.
Although we got that assisted suicide thing, and the Bush crowd says, oh, there is something wrong with that. Choose life. Choose life. And don't forget about Terry and her.
Cube.
Seinfeld, 58. Monty Python Flying Circus, 49. South Park, 36. The Simpsons, 36. The Homer Simpson, I heard, is... Homo Simpson. Family Guy, 21. Married with Children's, 21. Tonight with Johnny Carson, 21. Chappelle Show, 20. And it's not coming back. That's the report from Josh. Jefferson's 15. Jackie Gleason Show, 13. Cheers had 12. Oh, Tom Jickle likes Cheers. He doesn't like the show. He just likes saying it. Carol Burnett Show, 9. Show of Shows with Sid Caesar, 5. And Imogene Coca. Don't forget her. Steve Allen Show, 5. That was my vote. The old Steve Allen Show for us old fuddy-duddies. That was the best. With Boca Brian's favorite, Louis Nye. And Tom Poston and Don Knotts. And Dayton Allen. Why not? Laughin', 3. Well, we got a lot more for it, so you have to be really old like me. The Munsters, 3. Everybody Loves Raymond, 3. Oh, my God. David Letterman, 3. The Soupy Sale Show, 2. I Dream of Jeannie, 2. The Gong Show, 1. And none yet for the Addams Family, Laverne and Shirley, Happy Days, or Bewitched. Well, I'll be damned. You know, the Soupy Sale Show. And, of course, back then all those shows were live.
Yeah.
And, I guess I told you that story about how the mailman, it was part of the show, the guy that played the mailman would come to the door every day, and Soupy would open the door. And one day they played a little stunt on Soupy, and they had a naked broad standing on the other side of the door, which obviously the audience didn't see, but he did. that was the end of that show. He just went to pieces and just it was great. He was good, Soupy. He was,
Yeah, he was a riot.
He was okay. Well, I wouldn't say a riot. He was a real caution. 28 past 10 and not like Al Franken or anything like that.
Well, who is?
But who could be other than Catherine Ryan?
Saturday night on CBS, Edith is back from the dead. It's the 20th anniversary of All in the Family.
Oh, looky there. If it ain't John Eloise.
Daddy, don't be such a prude.
Oh, jeez. Now, whatever happened to my little girl? Look at you. Why don't you push yourself away from the table, huh? Maybe have a salad once in a while?
Daddy, don't you know how many of the world's people have never had a decent meal?
Again with the charity spielage.
Well, it's true.
So why don't you send them the bones from the turkey you had for breakfast, huh, Butterboy?
Hi, Gloria.
Edith, I thought you was pushing up daisies by now.
Oh, no, Archie. The last episode was all a bad dream.
It seems so bad to me. Look, when was you back there, Edith? Brush the dirt off you and give me another beer, huh?
The 20th anniversary of All in the Family, Saturday night on CBS.
Brought to you by IBS Home Correspondence School, where you can learn auto mechanics, gun repair, basket weaving.
yourself already.
I guess Sally Struthers, when she was on that show, she kept hearing Archie say, eat it, and she kept doing it.
Yeah, that's good.
26 before 11 at 5:60. WQM. We got Mo Howard David in today at 2 o'clock. How do you like that, huh? Just to go to show you the kind of cojones we got. Jim Mandich at 4, the Mad Dog.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
No, we don't what?
Gildy will be in today for the Mad Dog. And since it's silent, Curtis is in for the Mad Dog tomorrow.
Well, what's that all about?
I don't know.
Oh, don't tell me he's going to start screwing off now. We can't afford to be Mad Dogless.
We're dogless for the next 2 days.
Oh, we're dogless for 2 days. That's bad. And I just got through playing that great clip with Rick Weaver on it with Mad Dog. See, one thing about those two, man, he really got to appreciate Mandich tremendously. He wasn't a kind of a pompous... Well, he was a pompous ass, Rick, but not enough so that he would, ever have the audacity to try to put Mad Dog in his place. He just let him be Mad Dog, which is what you should do. Okay, and who's tomorrow? Curtis from 4 to 7. Look what I just wrote. C-U-R-I-S-T, Curist. We have Curist tomorrow. Well, I'm a little dyslexic today. So let's, I'm sure we can get about 100 more comedy shows on this poll and get about 50 zillion votes. What do we got so far here? It's just barely after 10:30, and we already got 456 as in Q56. What was that? Did you hear that?
No. I heard
a strange sound on this microphone there. I found the Z spot. Maybe Joe Zagacki did that. WQAM, hello.
My wife smells like soup.
WQAM, hello. QAM.
One for the poll?
Yes, sir.
The Benny Hill Show.
Benny Hill, okay, sure beats that Benny Hanna, I'll tell you that. Benny Hill, thanks, Pally. Benny Hill, although he ain't no Jack Benny. Well, put Jack Benny on there? Nah, it's too old. That's ancient, man. It would be like putting Life of Riley on there. Or Ozzie and Harriet, which wasn't funny at all. It was like, like that. Although Rick was on there. 567, not Rick Weaver. 567-0560, pound 560. I feel like taking a lot of calls today, man. I'm just full of a vinegar because I'm going on vacation after tomorrow, and George will be on all next week. And if you don't like it, too bad. That's our new attitude, okay? This business of, well, George did already, we hope you like it, okay? If not, too bad. Go away. Just sick and tired of that crap. Like, it's free entertainment. The price is right, and in an otherwise terminal boring day when you're sitting waiting back for that damn, what's this new one called now? This new storm?
Oh, I forget. I lost track.
Tammy.
No, Tammy's the one that's way up there.
I beg your pardon?
There's another one heading at us that Tammy's passed.
Well, they're all over the place, but Tammy's the one I'm thinking about, and it looks like going to be a lot of rain starting later on today and through maybe into tomorrow, and who knows when. More crap. So just sit back, and it's free entertainment. Crank the radio up real loud, or if you're out there in your vehicle, open up the windows, roll them down, have the balls to crank it up real loud, and say, hey, you see what I'm listening to? How do you like that? And people will look at you, and they'll go,
You fairy.
WQAM, hello.
I got one for your poll.
Yes, sir.
The Honeymooners.
The Honeymooners, Jackie Gleason, Audrey Meadows, and Art Carney.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The Honeymooners.
We got it.
Not to be confused with the Jackie Gleason show, which was Jackie Gleason, but a separate show, right?
Right.
I think.
Absolutely.
Right. He's still dead, by the way. WQAM, hello.
Yes, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Get smart.
Is that a show or a command?
That's a show, my friend.
Okay,
I don't need to tell you to get smart.
He just died, man. He just died. What a shame.
Yep. Listen,
some people don't know Don Adams from Don Knotts.
Another one is Jonathan Winter Show.
Jonathan Winters was a panic. He was very funny for about 10 minutes. Okay, thanks, Charlie. Quit while you're ahead. Oh, Jonathan Winters was very funny, especially when I used to have a tape of Jonathan Winters doing a really dirty old joke about some old farmer and no, it was about some old lady on a farm somewhere and the traveling salesman. I can't do it on the air because George had a nervous breakdown. But it was Jonathan Winters, and of course that was really funny because it was a very dirty joke. But nevertheless, hey, he was good.
Yes.
I'll tell you who I did not. I liked him for about 2 minutes, and then he became a parody of himself. Rich Little.
I never liked it.
If I never saw him again, it would be so much, because he did the same like 6 impersonations over
and they all sounded like the same person.
Yeah, they all sounded like Rich Little. They all sounded like Rich Little doing somebody.
Like a fusion of Richard Nixon and
Johnny
Johnny Carson.
I don't want to hear. It's Rich Little doing anybody.
Ooh.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, what's up? How are you?
How you doing, sir? Great.
Oh, pretty good, Neil. Hey, I got one for the poll.
How are you doing?
It's a new show called Little Britain.
What is it? Little Pregnant?
Yeah, Little Britain. Hey, and can shameless request, Neil?
Yeah.
Can you put me that Brad the Booger Belmonte singing the Dolphins for me?
Okay.
Thank you.
See ya. The Buffalo Bills. The Bills are going to really get bombed on Sunday. I predict a massive Dolphin victory. They will. I'm not like jumping on any bandwagon. I still can't stand the organization or the team or anything about them. And Gus Frerotte, of course, is a joke. But nevertheless, the league is watered down, and that may be the key. Now, the Panthers, on the other hand, not that we want to do more hockey talk that Hank tried to lead me down that path. But I told you, I'm serious. They got a nice roster, man. They got a good organized. They're between Jack Martin the Frog, and Keenan up there upstairs, way upstairs. They're doing a good job. They're going to put a nice team on the ice, and Luongo is the best in the league for my money, and nice going. Too bad the Leafs blew that game last night in OT on the shootout. But how's it going? They got the point. What's the point? 482 votes on the poll, the funniest TV show of all time. And we can put every show on there. We can even put shows like Dragnet. That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Now, don't go putting it on there, Josh.
Don't worry.
Don't worry. Did you ever see Dragnet? You don't know Jack Webb from the Wicked Web.
No, you're right about that. Charlotte's Web, I don't know.
Well, how about the movie Dragnet?
Yeah, even if he was in an episode.
Was Henry Morgan in that, or was he on the show? First, it was Ben. Who was that big fat guy, Ben, that was with Jack Webb on Dragnet?
I don't know. I don't know Harry Morgan.
Ben Alexander.
All right.
And then Harry Morgan, which I couldn't. Harry Morgan was another one. He was like a stereotype of himself. He always played that same kind of like sarcastic. Maybe it's just the way he looked, but he just always seemed to play Harry Morgan.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's some people who are always
with yesterday's brutality.
See, there you go. Now, like him. He always has that same deer in the headlights, dazed, a little bit stupid. He's like a stupor. They don't come no more stupider than your president. He is just pathetic. Tragic. No wonder the rest of the world despises. Yesterday, I happened to be around town, and I see under a overpass, you know how kids write graffiti and stuff, and it was in big letters, F. Bush. Only it didn't say F. It had the F word on there. F.U. Bush. And I thought to myself, yeah! See, they know. The rest of the world is on to him, man. How come America is so slow? How come half America, like that thing says, how can 59 million Americans be so dumb? Dumb. Man, retarded. This is what you call a leader? This is a man who lies and sacrifices human life and says choose life and is a fetus hugger? What did I always tell you about those people? They're crazy people. The fetus they're obsessed with, but once you're out of the womb, baby, you're on your own. And if we have a chance, we'll sacrifice your life so that we can make some brownie points. Oh, did you say brownie? And this Harriet Myers, man, don't let anybody fool you. When the stuff it's starting to seep out real big time now. It's seeping out. And there's nothing worse than seeping, by the way. Fat people know that. Seeping is very bad. Very uncomfortable. And when this stuff comes out, I don't think she's going to get confirmed. I think she's going to scare. They're going to find out that she's a real Nazi. And even some of the moderate Republicans, all 4 of them, they're going to say, we don't think so. This is not what we had in mind. 18 till 11 at 560 WQAM on a great Thursday. The Panthers are 1 what more could you want, huh? 5,000 empty seats. That is pathetic. I understand it was away for a long time and have been really they're giving you a lot of crap. But Jesus, you'd think on opening night, just the euphoria. Air Canada Center last night, man, they had a tailgate party for a hockey game here that lasted for 4 hours before the game. How do you like that?
If there's a butt, I smell it. I can't get over what that Huey said today. He's got a lot of noise to talk about me that way. I don't give a crap what that Berry has to say. If he wants to smoke pink cigars, then let him. Why, I'll have you know, I know what I'm talking about here. Every morning at the condo, I take the elevator down, and on my way to the car, when I pull my folding basket out, I grab a free condo paper. The toys are back in town.
Toys are back in town.
Toys. The toys are back in town.
The toys are back in
I said the toys are back in town. Why, you little... I'm the god of all you sport old fools. I know everything that's going on in that news. Why, I even know all the new Mahjong rules. I'm hip to the jive, Daddy-O.
Too bad they're going back today. It's a better show when I take your place. I know I ain't no employee, but when they drop, my voice will change.
You little smoothie.
See, if anybody's shocked that Mad Dog is not on today and tomorrow, let me just give you the idea. We can complain and bitch all we want about this place, but the fact of the matter is there is one good thing, and that is they're oblivious. So we show up whenever we feel like it. That's pretty much See, Joyce wanted us to sign those ridiculous contracts that nobody did or would. Mm-hmm. But we have our own deal that we just kind of like made up as we went along. I'm the one that was the originator, and everybody said, that's a good idea. Just show up when you feel like it. You want to take a couple of days off? Go ahead. It's like that handgun thing. Somebody pisses you off, blow his crap away, especially in Florida.
I'm going to call in lazy.
Now, wait till Josh hears this story, and thanks whoever faxed that and gave me the heads up on this, because I had no idea. This is shocking, is what it is. Do you know what story this is about network?
No, I don't.
Well, you better hang on. You better strap yourself into that chair, mister.
Looking forward to it.
No, you're not. CBS and George Clooney are planning a live remake of Network.
I'm as mad as hell, but I'm not going to take this anymore.
Patty Chafsky's critically acclaimed scathing satire of the television industry, in which the network's news division encourages an aging anchor to rave madly on the air for the sake of bigger ratings. Howard Beale.
I'm as mad as hell, but I'm not going to take this anymore.
It says, I know, but in 1976, this is in the Washington Post, in 1976 it was considered shocking and outrageous. Executives at CBS were taken by surprise when Clooney leaked word of the project being developed for next fall to the A&P while promoting his flick Good Night and Good Luck. The Edward R. I got to see that. It's supposed to be very, very good.
I want to see it too.
Ironically, that flick details how in the 50s, CBS newsman Edward R. Murrow defied corporate and advertiser pressure to expose the scaremongering of Senator Joseph McCarthy and the House Un-American Activities Committee's communist witch hunt. Hey, Joe McCarthy.
You fairy.
Contacted yesterday, a CBS spokesman told the TV column that the network redo was in the works, but they're short on details at this early stage. When he heard that Clooney leaked it, he said,
I'm as mad as hell, but I'm not going to take this anymore.
It's not the first time Clooney's done a live TV movie for CBS. 5 years ago, he executive produced and co-starred in a live remake for CBS for the 64 Cold War flick Failsafe, in which a squadron of U.S. bombers is mistakenly sent to nuke Moscow. Nearly 16 million viewers watched CBS live, black and white production, which boasted a heavyweight cast that included Richard Dreyfuss as Pottis, Brian Dennehy, Sam Elliott, James Cromwell, Harvey Keitel, and Don Cheadle. Well, I wonder if he's kin to Bo Dietl, the fifth Beatle.
I think they're close. Clooney
and CBS CEO Leslie Moonves go way back. In the mid-'90s, when Clooney was considered something of a show killer, people in the TV industry are notoriously superstitious, and in fact, it works on a lot of series that fail. He or she can find himself or herself branded a show killer, like Paula Marshall. Moonves went ahead and cast him to play the lead role in a little series he had developed called ER. These days, whenever anyone writes about Chayefsky's flick, which won several Oscars, Josh, including Best Screenplay, the word prescient is always attached. Prescient. Remember the Prussians? They were responsible for WW1.
Yeah.
Longtime news anchor Howard Beale,
I'm as mad as hell, but I'm not going to take this anymore.
brilliantly played by Peter Finch, is toiling at the lowest-rated evening newscast. He's given 2 weeks' notice, and that night on Evening News tells viewers he'll commit suicide on the air on his final broadcast. He's effectively canned, but the network is persuaded to let him apologize on the air next night and go out with dignity. Instead, he rants again, and the ratings go through the roof. He says bullshit on the air. The network, encouraged by an ambitious young executive, Faye Dunaway, gives him his own nightly segment and bills him as the mad prophet of the airwaves. What's wrong with being a mad prophet ranting about the hypocrisies of our times?
Angry prophet.
I beg your pardon? Well, would you like to be an angry prophet ranting about the... Yeah, what's wrong with it?
What's wrong with that?
Ratings are stupendous at first, but then they begin to lag. The network decides to hire members of a terrorist organization to assassinate him on the air. Clooney told the AP that when he screened the film for a group of young people, none of them recognized that it was... Oh, here we go. This is the best. Here we go, boys and girls. This is the problem, Josh Cordes. Clooney told people, A&P, that when he screened the film for a group of young people, none of them recognized it was a dark satire. I couldn't understand it, then I realized that everything Chesky wrote about happened. And so suddenly, the idea that the anchor is more important than the news story, and that you'd be doing sort of reality-based shows all happened, Clooney said. And when you have a great speech, that great speech with Ned Beatty as chairman of a corporation trying to take over the network, sitting there going, there is no USA, there is no Soviet Union, there's only Xerox and IBM, you realize all of those things were true or came true. There are no Russians, there are no... that was a good story I had the other day where it had that whole... And I thought I did a mediocre, fair job of reading that thing. Not like Ned Beatty. Early in the film, when Beale is told he skews too old, he and News Division head Max Schumacher, played by William Holden, get fractured at a bar, and Beale jokes he'll kill himself on the news the next night. Schumacher, you get a hell of a rating. I guarantee you a 50 share. Easy. We could make a series out of it. Suicide of the week. Oh, hell, why limit ourselves? Execution of the week. Beale, terrorist of the week. Schumacher, I love it. Suicides, assassinations, mad bombers, mafia hitmen, automobile smash-ups, the death hour, a great Sunday night show for the whole family. We'll wipe that effing Disney right off the air. Yeah. Seriously, anybody who doesn't like that movie needs to work on their life. That's all I can tell you, Josh. You need to work on your life a little bit.
Thanks.
I'm just telling you right now, that's all. I mean, at any rate, that's exciting news that they're going to bring that back. A whole bunch of people will see it. Although I will say this, it's one of those things they will never duplicate, It'll be, what it's like? It'll be like trying to redo The Godfather.
So did I hear you say that Failsafe was broadcast live originally?
Yes.
Really?
That's what it
wow,
said there.
Incredible. I wonder if it's out on DVD.
Well, there's probably one pretty good way to find out. Well, there's a real quick way to find out, and that is go on your Amazon.com right now and do a little Googling it. When in doubt, check that out. 526 votes. It's not even 11 o'clock yet. What's going on here, boys and girls? This is going to really frost that Joel Feinberg's ass when he finds out we got more than 10, 15 people listening to this highly paid show. Too bad, Joel. And by the way, we would do anything to hurt you. We would, run over your foot. We'd, stick an old piece of gum under your armpit. That's right. Maybe even do that. Shoot you in the leg. Anything. Because we would do anything to hurt you and your crew, except Joe Rose we like a lot. Anybody else over there we like? No.
Zach?
And Zach Krantz. Oh, Zach Krantz. Oh, yeah. Now, this line 9, if this is the same from yesterday,
There they go. They just disappeared.
Oh,
they're back.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing? This is Champaign, Illinois reporting.
Yeah.
How are you?
Pretty good.
I have a poll, not a poll,
now, what is
but
that?
a
The
suggestion
University
for
of Illinois is in Champaign?
Yes, sir, home of the University of Illinois.
Well, I'm so sorry, man. You got zooked. But
hey,
anyway.
it's cold already here, bro.
Is it really?
Oh, God. It's about 55. That's cold already.
Well, better you than me. Sun is shining in Toronto, baby. It's like 77. It's nice. But anyway.
May I make a suggestion for the poll, please?
Please, go right ahead.
CPO Sharky. Thanks, numbnuts.
Okay, what did he say?
He said, thanks, numbnuts.
No, before that.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh. 567, that was the same guy. Oh, and look at that. Look at this. QAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes,
One
sir.
for the poll. Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night Live. Well, how can we leave that out? How can we leave SNL off of there, especially when Tom Brady hosted it? WQAM, hello. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Got shot all weekend and loved it.
WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good.
I got one for the poll.
Okay.
You Living Color.
It's on there.
In Living Color. That was on for about 5 minutes.
Yes, the Wayans brothers.
Okay.
All right.
Jim Carrey.
I beg your pardon?
Jim Carrey also. Very good stuff.
Yeah, it was on for about 5 minutes. It was a funny show, but
about 5
very
minutes.
long. It was too good. It seemed like it was shorter than that. 531 votes. What do we got here now? The funniest TV show of all time. All in the Family, 86. Seinfeld, 74. You must be crazy. Oh, my God. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Being crazy?
Yeah. He gives me spilkies, man. I just can't stand him. Monty Python Flying Circus, 60. That's pretty good for a show that was on PBS,
Mm-hmm.
South Park, 47. The Simpsons, 46. Family Guy's got...
About 30, man.
Chappelle Show, 29. Married with Children, 26. The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Here's Johnny, 24. Oh, and where the hell did I have that story about him and drugs? I think that was in one of the Inquirers. I never got it on the air.
Drugs?
Huh?
You mean besides the story that you read previously about it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Jackie Gleason Show 16. Cheers 16. Jefferson 16. We're moving on up, though. Carol Burnett Show 10. Family Faulty Towers 9. Gong Show 6. That CIA assassin Chuck Barris. Show of Shows with Sid Caesar 6. Everybody Loves Raymond 6. Steve Allen Show 5. Laugh-In 4. The Munsters 4. David Letterman 4. Soupy Sale Show 3. I Dream of Jeannie 3. The Honeymooners pair. 1 for Saturday Night Live. Sanford and Son. I Love Lucy. Lucy. Jonathan Winter Show. SCTV. Benny Hill Show, which you're sneaking some on that I haven't even mentioned, which is good. SCTV was great, especially the Perry Como thing in bed. Get Smart, In Living Color, Addams Family, Laverne and Shirley, Happy Days, and Bewitched have all got so far the big...
Oh! This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
This is the Neil Rogers Show. This is your brain. Any questions?
They finally indicted Tom DeLay. I hope they lock the crooked bastard away. He's gerrymandered by a guy named Ray down at Sugarland. He was the leader of the GOP, a greedy thief with a redistricting scheme. And now he's gonna face a grand jury back in Sugarland. He's called a hammer and hot top Tom, another cockamamie Christian Tom. Despite the outcome, you can color him gone back to Sugarland. Guarding variety, push body, like Abram Mockfield, Chris and Brownie, rotting in prisons where they all should be, down in Sugarland.
It's 11:02 at 560 WQAM. 500. How many votes in that first hour? That is shocking to me. 578. 578. That's great. In the Sunshine State. Aren't you amazed?
Shocked.
We're making some serious progress here is what we're doing. Alzheimer's patient wanders off, found hour later shot and raped to it. This is one of the sickest stories I've ever read in my life. See, this is my new thinking, especially with the new Florida law. As long as the governor and legislature decided it's okay to go and kill people, people like this, if we find which we probably will never find this person, but if we ever did, just blow them away and drag their body off and throw it in a ditch somewhere or in a dumpster.
Oh, we have lots of canals here.
Like in Once Upon a Time in America, you know, those garbage trucks that grind all this stuff up. Just toss it in there. Just grind it up. An 85-year-old Alzheimer's patient who wandered away from her home was found less than an hour later raped and shot on Hammondville Road in Pompano Beach. Raped and shot. I don't know that we've ever seen a worse case, B.S. Spokesman Jim Leodol said, we've had cases of elderly women raped before and cases of them murdered, but this is about as bad as it gets. The woman's daughter helped her get dressed about 5 o'clock Monday morning at the home they share. The daughter went to another room for a few minutes, and when she came back, she found that her mother, who suffers from adult dementia, had gone outside. When she couldn't find her mother, she called 911 about 5:30 in the morning. About 6 o'clock, a deputy patrolling outside the North Broward Detention Center found the woman lying on the sidewalk on the 3000 block of Hammondville Road. She was fully clothed, but had a gunshot wound to her pelvic area and a broken leg. A hospital exam found that she'd been sexually assaulted.
Oh, my God.
The woman is recovering in the hospital after surgery and wants to go home, Leodol said. She doesn't remember the attack, at least to this point, so we don't know exactly when it occurred or where. Anybody with information should call the BSO at 954-786-4200 or Crime Stoppers at 954-493-TIPS. That is just as sick as it gets.
Pretty much.
No, there's just too much slime walking around in the world. I'm starting to agree with these gun nuts. Just kill them. Just blow them away. That's all.
There's more of us than there are then.
That's right. Let's go and get them. Well, I'm not so sure about that part.
We'll see when the dust settles.
That's right.
When the gun smoke clears, right?
Standing, baby. You slime balls, you maniacs, you lunatics. But, of course, we have to make way in those prisons for those hardened drug dealers. How's that Anthony kid doing, that 23-year-old kid that had the scale, you know? He had that little pot scale.
Won't see him no more.
Is he still dead?
But the good news is you can still get weed in South Florida.
0560. He was a drug dealer. Let's kill all the... Let's put him away. Let's take up all the jail cells. Let's let the rapists and the murderers and the arsonists, let's put them all up there on the streets, and let's put the little old ladies in tennis shoes out there that had like a pinjo in their ashtray.
Yeah.
And the punks, of course. Any punk, which means in Florida, anybody under the age of 90. WQAM, hello.
Hey, brother, what's going on?
How you doing, Pally?
Clear my throat for you. Hey, Neil, what is the importance of getting to over 1,000 votes on the poll?
Absolutely none.
We make more money that way.
Yeah, we make a lot more money that way. You believe me? No.
No. By the way, network, who would want to remake a piece of crap like that?
Yeah, right. That tells me where you're coming from. No, not one other thing. I don't have time for morons, okay? And you know what? Will and Grace, we just had that spot on there. I guess we'll have to put that on because somebody will vote for it. One show I will not put on that poll, and that is that 70 show. Because anybody who would vote for that 70 show obviously is not deserved to be on the face of the planet. Is there any argument about this?
No. It had some potential, like, in the first season. But
yeah, it used to be okay.
Okay, let's put it on there, that 70 show. Go ahead. Go right ahead.
Man. It went nowhere
fast. He's very big since he got married to Demi Moore now, and Ashton Kutcher and that little faggoty Julio that's on there. Very, very big, that 70 show. I got news for him, man. If my life had to consist of watching that show a lot, I would just, bada bing, unassisted suicide. WQAM, hello.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? Got one for the poll.
Okay.
Soap.
Don't drop it. Okay, thanks. Soap. Remember soap?
Yes, I do.
I prefer body wash myself. Is there anybody left who's using soap, by the way? That would be sad if there was, because, now you go into your drugstore or supermarket, wherever you buy your toiletries, and there's like 85,000 different brands of body wash, man. There's Adidas, and there's like all these real macho kind, and there's even Old Spice, which nobody with a brain would use that. But there's Lever and Dial and Ulever. Should have done a long time ago. And Coast and Most and Posties. It's just incredible.
And
you can't find,
my only complaint that I had was the bottle gets all slippery when you want to apply more and everything.
No, no. See, first of all, you don't.
Let me finish.
Yeah, go aheid.
I bought a dispenser, and so now it just as much as I want, I just pump
you don't know how to do it, man. You just it's really sad that I have to teach these people how to take a shower.
I'm not going to get one of those scruffies.
No, why not?
Scrungy.
No, you're wasting like 90% of the soap, you idiot. Listen,
I don't care.
Listen to me.
No.
You get the scrungy, and you put you smear, you learn how much to put on there, and that's it. Listen. And then you close the thing up again, you snap the thing closed, and you put it wherever on the wherever you're.
I gave it a try.
And then if you have enough on your scrungy, that takes care of your whole body.
Sorry.
Even including your everywhere. I'm telling you, that's the way to do it.
I got
you
a catalog.
You are such a hard ass, man.
Has man kilts in it in the new catalog.
Okay.
I don't think I'm going that way either.
Whatever. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Hey, Neil, let me ask you a question. You think you could dig up the crates there and play the old Brian Cox song there?
No. WQAM, hello.
Good morning, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Can you play on Buffalo Bill with Pistol Lotion and a basket?
No. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Neil, a couple for the poll. The Ology show on HBO.
Yeah.
And Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Curb Your Enthusiasm, is that an order or a show? I know. Thanks, Billy. See you.
Thank you.
Don't ever give an order like that again, whatever you do.
All right.
5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon. I was supposed to play that Phil Henry thing. Don't let me forget.
Don't forget.
Because the Buffalo Bills suck. And Buffalo, I don't want to go through it again. What's the point? Buffalo is just such a horrible, awful place. Anybody that would ever tell you that Buffalo is a fine city and a great place to live, and they're full of it, man. They're crazy people. They also need to be locked up. See, all the sane people are locked up, and the crazy people are walking around loose on the outside. WQAM, hello.
Yes, I got for the poll.
Yes, sir.
The Groucho Marx show.
Groucho Marx, you bet your life, man.
Right? I mean, he was always.
But it wasn't called the Groucho Marx show. It was called You Bet Your Life.
Right.
Okay. You Bet Your Life, Groucho Marx. You can put that however you want. Actually, it wasn't a comedy show. It was a quiz show, but it was the idea was it was a funny quiz show.
It was just a platform for Groucho to be funny.
With George Fenneman. I forget, George Fenneman is dead, but I found it was some reason that I hated him like poison. He's either a right-winger or, I don't know. That was before the days we even talked about too many right-wingers. Maybe he did something with Joe McCarthy. Or with, what's his name, Roy Cohn. Or his brother, Marty Cohn. 10 minutes after 11 at 560 WQM, 619 votes. Now, what's the significance again of that 1,000 mark? I say we're going to get like 27 gazillion votes on the poll today. And then they will fear us. How do you like that? Then they will fear you. My mind is just cluttered with all these lines, these famous lines from great movies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
Like...
Get the chalk!
Oh. Jack Lemmon, you know something? Stop and think about all the great lines and the people who delivered them. And I'm not that we would do a poll on that because that's just a little too convoluted. But you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, Jack Lemmon had that one, and then he had the one that you always confuse.
Which is what?
Push the button!
Oh, that one, yes. That was Jack Lemmon.
11 after 11 at 560 WQAM, our friends at Dollar Mattress have an absolutely unbelievable offer for you. Because right now when you call 1-800-MATTRESS, you can get yourself a free tank of gas. Take the full amount of any gas receipt off your next mattress, up to 10% off your purchase. So, in other words, if you spend $50 at the pump, take $50 off any purchase of $500 or more. And you can save more gas by skipping those phony sales this Columbus Day weekend. If department stores or other so-called mattress stores double the price and then take half off, which is exactly what they do every year, what kind of a sale is that? Call 1-800-MATTRESS and choose from the complete line of Sealy and Serta and Simmons and King Coral, Tempur-Pedic, Stearns and Foster. When you call 1-800-MATTRESS, you still choose the date and time for delivery. Any 2-hour window, 7 days a week from 8 a.m. till 10 p.m., even on Columbus Day, even on Shavuos, even on Tisha B'Av, even on Simchas Torah. How do you like that? Don't waste time and money driving all around town shopping for a mattress, especially with the price of gas nowadays. Do the smart thing. I've been using these people for a very long time, and most of the folks at QM are on the Dollar Mattress bandwagon now, too, and rightfully so. And you should be, too. Call 1-800-MATTRESS or log on to their website, mattress.com, and keep in mind that a portion of every purchase goes to Hurricane Katrina relief. Call Dollar Mattress toll-free, 1-800-MATTRES. Leave off the last S because it stands for Stupendous Savings.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Where the faggot is. You failed.
Well, Buffalo has a football team, the greatest in the land. And everybody thinks they're great because they really are. The Buffalo Bills are the number one. See what I mean? So just sing along. When you say Miami, when you say Buffalo, Super Bowl, and you're the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills, they're the greatest team in the history of the human race. They're the Buffalo Bills. They're the greatest thing since sliced bread and canned beer. Yeah, there you go. And you jazz up that redneck stuff. You listen to that banjo. Holy sweet God, listen to that. When you say Buffalo Bills, it don't sound so rednecky, do it? Everybody sing along now. Are you Bill fans? Here we go. Well, the Buffalo Bills are the best team. They have the best record over the last 5 years. And they went to the Super Bowl 4 times, which is more than I can say for this scum-sucking fish. And they're the greatest, because I really like their uniforms. They sure as hell beat the heck out of having a fish on the helmet, because they're the Buffalo Bills. The best football team what I ever seen in the history of my life. They are the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills. The home of Jim Kelly, the greatest quarterback in the league. Yeah, everybody, the Buffalo Bills. They're the Buffalo Bills. And they've been around longer than the stinking rotten fish. Well, they're the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills. What would you rather have as a pet, a buffalo or a fish?
Wow, what the hell happened there? That was it?
I guess.
That was kind of strange there. It's just, let's play it again, see if it does that again. 11:17 at 560 WQM. I see that 70 show got a vote. Let me just say this to you, seriously. I say it from the bottom of my heart. If the funniest TV show of all time is that 70 show, I would take my TV set right now, no matter how big or small it is, and I would stick it into a dumpster. First, I'd take a ball-peen hammer, and I'd smash the picture tube to make sure that nobody could ever watch it again, and I'd put it into a dumpster, and I wouldn't replace it.
Or you could shove it up your rectum and plug it in.
Rectum? Yeah, that's not a bad idea. That'd be pretty funny.
Maybe Ashton Kutcher, that's his
you
vote.
can tell me that show, Once Upon a Time, was very, very funny, and I'm trying to envision that, even though it makes no...
Well, I take your word for it that Howard Stern was funny Once Upon a Time. I never heard
he was, and so was Don Imus.
So I take your word for it.
Yeah,
I
so
certainly
was Don
never
Imus.
heard it.
Say it
Right?
again.
I heard it.
Let's get ready to mumble. Come on, let's do it. Both the
Both
FBI and the CIA are calling it the first case of espionage in White House in modern history. Boy, there is more crap going on inside that thing. Officials tell ABC News the alleged spy worked undetected at the White House for almost 3 years. Leandro Aragoncillo, 46. I wonder if he was named after the Aragon Ballroom.
I'm sure he was.
Leandro Aragoncillo, 46, was U.S. Marine most recently assigned to the staff of Vice President Dick Cheney. Uh-oh. I don't know of a case where the vetting broke down before and resulted in a spy being in the White House, said Richard Clark. We know Richard Clark was now an ABC News consultant, former White House advisor, an honest guy who they smeared and schmeared. Federal investigators say Aragoncillo, a naturalized citizen from the Philippines, used his top-secret clearance to steal classified intelligence documents from White House computers. In 2000, Aragoncillo worked on the staff of then Vice President Al Gore. When interviewed by Philippine television, he remarked how valued Philippine employees were at the White House. I think what they like most is our integrity and loyalty, Aragoncillo said. Officials say the classified material, which he stole from the Vice President's office, that's Dick Cheney, by the way, or is that Al Gore? See, that doesn't say which Vice President.
No, it doesn't.
Well, I guess Al Gore, including damaging dossiers on the President of the Philippines. He then passed those on to opposition politicians planning a coup in the Philippines, in Los Filipinos. I can't imagine there are any Filipinos left on those islands, if they're all here.
Or they're blowing up.
Well, or part of that. Even though it's not for the Russians or some other government, the fact that it occurred at the White House is a matter of great concern, said John Martin, not the harness driver, but he was the government's lead espionage prosecutor for 26 years. Last year, after leaving the Marines, Aragoncillo was caught by the FBI while he worked for the Bureau of Intelligence Center at Fort Monmouth, New Jersey. According to a criminal complaint, Aragoncillo was arrested last month and accused of downloading more than 100 classified documents from FBI computers.
Oh, my God.
The information was transferred mostly by email. U.S. Attorney Christopher J. Christie said at the time of his arrest, no relation to Lou Christie or Christy Kruger. Since that arrest, officials say Aragoncillo has started to cooperate. He's admitted to spying while working on the staff of Vice President Dick Cheney. How do you like that? Which inspires me to play...
Heart attacks. Heart attacks. Both of my knees are having heart attacks. According to the diagnostic test, there is nothing underneath my mantees inside my chest. Heart attacks. No heart attacks. And my knees are popping from these heart attacks. My lips are blue from the pain in my tush. That mental retard push.
11:21. Here's a fax from Rick, who says... A show that still makes me poop my pants laughing every time I see it is Are You Being Served?
Okay.
They show it on Channel 2 or on the BBC cable channel on cable. Are You Being Served? Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, and I've tried watching it I'd say 3 times, because normally those Brit comedies are okay, like Fawlty Towers and Monty Python.
Not really.
Well,
Monty Python and what else?
In the case of Are You Being Served, let's just say I don't get it. Any part of it. Any minute
It's kind of like Josh on Network. He just doesn't get it.
Yeah, it must be going over my head, that show.
Rick says, how about Benson with Robert Guillaume for your poll? Benson. What's that?
Benson. It's about Benson. Old show.
Never heard of it.
It was on for a while. It was...
Been some time?
Yeah.
651 votes. Are you Schmitting me, boys and girls? Holy moly, Rat Man. We're going to make a fortune today. And if you believe that, you'll believe this story. This could be the most ridiculous story in history. Let the couch jumping begin, it says. Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes are expecting a baby. And everybody in the world's immediate first response is, who's the daddy?
Who's your daddy?
Yeah. Holmes' pregnancy was reported Wednesday by People magazine. The couple have been dating since April and became engaged in June. Right. Tom and Katie are very excited, and the entire family is very excited. Leanne DeVette, Cruise's spokeswoman, told People. I wonder what she does for the Scientologists. It would be Holmes' first child. Cruz has 2 children, Connor, 10, Isabella, 12, from his marriage to Nicole Kidman. They were adopted. Am I correct about that?
Yes, you are. So this will be his first child, assuming that this actually is.
There's as much chance that this will be his child as those kids are Michael Jackson's children.
Still not considering the turkey.
Oh, you know that thing with I was telling you about on IFC this morning, where they had that round table with these various things, and Charles Nelson Riley was doing the whole show sitting in Dom DeLuise's lap.
Yes.
Isn't it ironic that one of the other people on that panel there was Burt Reynolds?
Oh, you didn't mention that.
In fact, I think in the movie Deliverance, when they did the casting, they finally had Ned Beatty be the one up in the woods who got raped in it, because they said Burt might enjoy it. I mean, Burt, are you fooling anybody, Burt? You know, is there anybody?
No.
Come on, Burt. Although we did like Burt and Jax, especially Mr. Freebie used to like it because he used to get freebies there all the time. That's another piece of fallout from 9/11. Another casualty was Burt and Jax. They had that great peppercorn sauce that you put like on your pasta, you know?
Stick a paw.
Right. No further details available. DeVette added that Holmes 26 has never felt better. Well, we never felt her, so how the hell can you tell? Cruz 43 is now shooting Mission Impossible 3.
Oh, my God.
Oh, brother. You lose, Tommy Cruise. He ain't fooling nobody.
They need to go on Maury.
I beg your pardon?
Maury does all of those paternity test shows.
Oh, does he really?
We want to see what's in the envelope.
Maury Pupik is still on the air. My God.
Oh,
Happy
yeah.
98th birthday, by the way, Maury. And how's Connie Chink doing?
Still not pregnant.
668 votes. What's the funniest TV show of all time? All in the Family 101. Seinfeld 95. I might have to get some of these themes out. Crank. Just that one.
Which
the long
one?
one, you know, that I got. The one that goes. Da, 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 da. I got it here somewhere. Oh, no. I'll have to find that disc. You know the one where they
I know.
have, you know. In fact, I'm going to look for it now.
How come I don't have it?
I got it. Well, I'll be damned. Can't find it. Oh, I bet you here it is. Got it. I got it.
All right.
By the way, somebody won the $166,000 jackpot at the Dollar Wheel of Fortune slots at Woodbine last night.
Yeah.
It wasn't me.
Oh.
Three machines away, man. It was a good machine. Now, what am I looking for? I'm looking for All in the Family.
All in the Family.
Well, the reason that this is better than just playing the regular one is because it's got something in the beginning, which, again, my Alzheimer's prevents me from remembering what it was.
Right.
Where
a
the
little
hell is it?
intro, a little commentary by people.
Oh, and this is a 2-disc thing. It better be on the first disc, because I do believe that's the one I just stuck in there. I stuck it. Lone Ranger, Howdy Doody. That was a really funny show. Your Hit Parade. The Honeymooners. Ernie Kovacs Show. How about the Ernie Kovacs Show? Let's put that on there. There won't be anybody remember it. Maybe Boca Brown will vote for it, just for old time's sake. I cannot believe that I can't find All in the Family on here. Maybe it's not on this thing.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm positive it's on here. How about if I just read there? And you want to know why I can't find it? Because it's on the second disc and the very last cut. Don't you hate that?
I do.
It's like, no, seriously, it's like when you're looking through a stack of crap and you're trying to find something, and the very last thing
It's
that
always
you
in
look
the
at,
last place you look.
there could be like 100 pieces of paper, and you're like leafing through frantically trying to find something, and the very stinking last one, there it is. That's just fraud. Even the Pope ain't too happy about that. You know, the Nazi Pope with the beady eyes?
Yeah.
That one?
Cardinal Notzinger?
Yeah, the one that went to Cologne to pick out all those young altar boys for the future.
He is the devil.
Hello, I'm Carol O'Connor.
To close the album, our own song, we dedicate it to you then and to you now.
Now, you're a young person. Will you listen to me for a change?
Boy, the way Glenn Miller played.
Songs that made a hit parade.
Guys like me, we had it made. Those were the days. Didn't need no welfare state.
Everybody pulled his weight.
G.R.O.S. now rank great. Those were the days.
And you knew where you were.
Girls were girls and men were men. Mister, we could use a man like David Hooper again. People seem to be content. $50 paid the rent. Freaks were in a circus tent. Those were the days. The Dodgers win.
Have you felt a dandy day
That cost you under a thing?
Hair was short and skirts were long. Kate Smith really sung the song.
I don't know just what went wrong. Those were the days.
is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
When Rebecca Romaine says she's getting engaged, it won't last a month. When Matt Damon says I do, just like Seal and Heidi Klum, it won't last a month. When Robert Downey Jr. says I'll stop being a boozer, it won't last a month. When Courtney Love is bad and ends up in rehab, it won't last a month. Temporary people's words don't mean much, yeah. Commitments don't last long. Commitments don't last long. Contracts ain't worth the paper they are printed on. No.
11:32, 28 till noon at 560. That all in the family theme. I don't think you'll hear that anyplace else in the history of the human race.
Nope.
On the face of the globe. Ed Naha's got a really good column. I'm not going to read it. Bush to America, I Know Better. Too long. Much too long. But I just emailed it to Josh. It'll definitely be on the website today, tomorrow, a week from Sukkot, whenever we get around to it. When we feel like it. How do you like that? Now, this fax you just sent me, this is the epitome. This is the epitome of what's wrong with South Florida.
Even though they're on the West Coast.
Well, where are they? Oh, in Fort Myers. Like I said, well, that's South Florida.
It's Southwest Florida. Yeah, it still counts.
That's the old coast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to, I'm not going to use his last name or the name of his business, but nevertheless, John needs obviously help. See, people like you, John, first of all, you're in Fort Myers, so we don't care about you. Why would we care about anybody in Fort Myers? You can't get a diary. You're not going to do anything for us. You're not going to, give us your oral support. In addition to which, you're a sourpuss.
Just walk away.
It reminds me of the guy that called the other day. Remember we did the poll last week about what do you least enjoy Neil talking about on the show?
Right.
And obviously hockey won by a mile and horse racing.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so the guy suggests movies, which wound up getting like 4 or 5 votes. But movies?
Yeah.
Do you know anybody that doesn't like movies? I mean,
no
obviously
one. Never
different
heard
taste
of that.
in movies. Like Josh has got bad taste.
It's like not liking music. Who doesn't like music?
Not liking food.
Yeah. I don't care for it.
I don't talk about food. Like calling in the Food Channel saying, "Oh, quit talking about food so much." God. Oh, and speaking of the Food Channel, I wonder what they got on right now. Cook with me.
And a little bit of water are going to meet the butter.
You're shoving your meatballs.
Hello, butter. Very gently.
It helps if you talk to it.
A little bit of rosemary in our hollandaise.
Oh, look at that. She's chopping up rosemary and she's throwing her ass in there. Anyway, John says, consider adding to your polls the following. None of the above. I don't give a schmidt about this poll. And then he says, hey, sometimes it happens. You might be surprised. Every election had a none of the above line. Why would we put none of the above on a poll about comedy shows? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because he's a sourpuss. That's why I faxed it. I almost threw it away, but I thought, no.
Hey, John.
Because we get a lot like that.
Man, you are in a perfect spot, Fort Myers. I hope you and the Beasleys in Fort Myers and Naples have a wonderful life together. It's a match made in purgatory. Perfect spot for you. Now, this story, this should go to show you, if there's anybody who thinks I'm exaggerating when we keep losing more and more of our rights. You see, once you start losing the first ones, it doesn't stop there.
Right. It's domino effect.
It's a fast domino effect in New Orleans, okay? It just doesn't stop. And the public just sits back just like that poll we did yesterday, just like sheep. And, well, what can we do? They're wringing their hands. Or most of them don't even give a crap. They're busy watching that 70s show. Or Everybody Loves Raymond. Seriously, there are just no words to describe how bad this stuff is, you know? But at any rate, Oregon woman kicked off flight in Reno over an offensive shirt. A Portland woman's flight home was stopped short in Reno, all because the message on the T-shirt she was wearing. Lori Heasley. I wonder if she's kin to the Beasley. I sure hope not for her sake. She's got enough problems. Lori Heasley claims it's a freedom of speech privilege, but airline officials say the message brings safety concerns. And you know what we care about in America, don't you? Safety. Oy vey. Heasley says there are bigger problems in the country. I can't believe people can be so petty, Tom. Heasley boarded her flight Tuesday morning in L.A., headed for Portland, Oregon, with a stopover in Reno. But when Southwest Airlines employees asked her to cover her shirt, her stopover became a stop off her flight. I was told basically that I had to cover my shirt. I was told if I cover the shirt, I can basically stay on the plane. So she covered the shirt, but during a nap while passengers were boarding in Reno, the cover came off. And Southwest employees insisted, change the shirt or change flights. I didn't feel that I should have to change my shirt because we live in the United States and it's freedom of speech and it was based on the movie The Fockers, and I didn't think it should have offended anyone. But it did. There are a whole bunch of people out there, I'd say about 30%.
About 30, man.
Of the American public who live just to be offended. They're just waiting to be offended.
Looking around for stuff.
The shirt had pictures of members of the Bush administration and a phrase based on the movie Meet the Fockers, but with one crucial vowel change. Oh, that couldn't have been the...
Oh!
Could it? I love that. I wish I had one of those shirts. Meet the Fockers. With
Let's see where you can order it.
It was enough to cause complaints from other passengers, and it's a problem the airline has had to deal with before. Beth Harbin, Southwest Airlines, said, we do get it occasionally, what someone is wearing, what someone is reading. No, listen to this.
All right.
You know, I never fly to airline because I don't like taking 16 different flights to get from, like, Miami to Orlando. But I guarantee you, I would never subsidize them with a dime. This attitude is so obnoxious when what someone is wearing, what someone is reading, and what someone might be saying, and it's very much a judgment call. But when other customers become concerned, we do have to become involved and see what we can do to make everyone as comfortable as we can. What people might be saying or reading or wearing...
Or thinking.
How about if you're on a plane with a Husad Shako, like the great Ahmed Khan?
Yeah, or a turban.
Well, and while Southwest may have kept the peace on its afternoon hop to Portland, a woman not afraid to use her freedom of speech will now be using her freedom of choice. I most likely will not be flying Southwest Airlines again after this, she said. Southwest Airlines told Heasley she could take a different flight home if she changed her shirt. She refused and opted to rent a car and drive home from Reno to Portland. You go, honey. You go. Good golly, Miss Molly. That's pathetic. I just got through reading that, and I can't even believe it.
Well, remember, they hate us for our freedom.
Meet the Fockers with a U instead of an O, instead of a... Yeah. And pictures of Bush, the Nazi regime. At least it didn't have like a swastika on it that we know of, and it probably should have had that on the back. Jesus K. Christ, man. So, like I'm trying to tell you, not that any of you care, obviously, because, you're oblivious Newton John. What we care about is getting to that 1,000 votes by 2. That's all we care about, getting paid and getting to 1,000 votes. And making sure the audio vault keeps percolating away, getting them spots on, right?
Right. So far.
Too bad we don't have any. By the way, Joel Feinberg, I think, is like doing $1 a holler over there because he'd do anything to hurt us. 717 votes on that poll. And by the way, you people on the air over there on the ticket, don't you be ripping Joel now. You can rip each other an ass. You can call each other any name that's ever been invented and make up some new ones, you little bastard. But don't you be ripping management over there because he ain't playing that game like we do here on QAM. 2 games he's not playing. That game and the ratings game because he don't have any. 717 votes. The funniest TV show of all time. All in the Family 106, Seinfeld 105. You really believe that?
It was huge in its day.
Oh.
You know that.
I beg your pardon? I know. Well, okay.
I mean, not everybody's the kind of anti-Semite you are.
What about MASH?
Oh, let's put it on there.
That was huge.
Yeah,
that'll go skyrocketing up there. Another show I couldn't stand.
Record breaker, yeah. Started out okay, and then got all preachy and,
Although Jamie Foxx didn't have a big proboscis.
Ooh. Was there ever
All in the Family 106, Seinfeld 105, Monty Python's Flying Service Circus 70, The Simpsons 57, South Park 55, Chappelle Show 39, Family Guy 36, Married with Children's 31, Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, Here's Johnny 25, Cheers 21, Fawlty Towers 19, The Jackie Gleason Show 17, Jefferson 17. Shouldn't be more than that. Jefferson's great.
Yes.
I get a little queasy just thinking about it.
Wheezy?
Carol Burnett Show 12, Saturday Night Live, SNL 9, Sanford and Sons 7, The Honeymooners 7, Benny Hill Show 7, Benny Hanna don't have any yet, and Benny Hinn don't have any. The Gong Show with that CIA assassin, Chuck Embarrass 7, Steve Allen Show 7, and Living Color 6, Laugh-In 6, with Artie Johnson, and Rowan and Martin, and a whole bunch of people. What was her name, the one that I can't stand? The one with that crazy laugh.
On Laugh-In?
Yeah.
Phyllis Diller?
No, big black-haired, what the hell was her name? It'll come to me. Do a Google on it.
I know who you're talking about, and I can't think of her name. Come on, Booker Brian, you know who we're talking about.
She's not funny.
Wasn't just Fanny something, was it?
Who?
It wasn't Fanny something, was it?
No. Oh, you're thinking of Fanny Flagg.
That's
no,
what
she
I'm
was
thinking
funny. In fact, she was on a lot of game shows, too, Fanny
I got her pictured, but I don't know her name.
Showing Show Sid Caesar 6, Everybody Loves Raymond 6, I Love Loosely 5, that was Scran's theme song. The Munsters 5, David Letterman 5, SCTV 3, should be much higher than that. Soupy Sales Show 3, I Dream of Jeannie 3, Ernie Kovac Show a pair, Curb Your Enthusiasm 2, Soap 2, don't drop it, 70 Show 2, Get Smart 2, Arrested Development 1, Da Ali G Show, what is that?
Ali G. It's an HBO show.
And it's
I guess that's just it all. Will and Grace 1, Mary Hartman 1 from PBS. Remember that?
Yes, it sucked.
It did. Jonathan Winter Show won, and none yet for MASH. Benson, Are You Being Served? You Bet Your Life. Groucho Marx. The Addams Family. Laverne and Squirrely, Thank God. Schmendrick, Schlemazel, Schlemiel. Happy Days None, and Bewitched has got the big O, and we're pretty pissed off about that.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
And listen to the Panthers' choice for a powerful voice.
Remember yesterday we couldn't think of the original name, Josh, for the Yenta Center. It was the National Car Rental
Center.
I
actually knew that. I just didn't chime in with it.
I see.
And
well, what do you mean you didn't chime in with it? You said you couldn't remember it.
Well, I actually remembered later. But
Oh, well, later. Well, when you're sitting on the throne, that's not the time.
And
yes,
remember Joanne Worley?
Joanne Worley from Laugh-In.
Yeah.
She used to also be on a lot of game shows.
Very annoying.
See, the only problem, we could do a poll on your favorite, I think maybe long time ago, about 80 years ago, we did a poll on your favorite game show panelist.
Oh, panelist.
Yeah, not your favorite game show. We've done that.
Mm-hmm.
But that would require real ancient farts like me and Boca Brian and Hank. And, because there are no game shows anymore, really, other than Price is Right. Unless you watch the game show channel. And you're adamant you don't watch the game show channel.
I watch reruns of Match Game.
Oh, Match Game is great.
I try not to miss it, right.
In fact, you can see, as it evolved, you can see Richard Dawson's ego becoming out of control,
yes.
you know?
Yes.
And if anybody chose him, the winner at the end of the show who got to play if anybody chose somebody other than Richard, you could see the exasperated, disappointed, wounded puppy look on Richard's face.
His face
like,
would know.
You didn't pick me. Well, I don't understand. And by the way, have another beer, Richard, okay? Have another pop. Okay, somebody says the funniest TV show of all time, and you must be jesting, entering its 16th season, America's Funniest Home Videos. Fair. But put that on there immediately, okay? Now, that's not the one with Bob Saget, is it?
I don't know. There's so many. Might be.
Yeah. And then, I'm not going to read this stuff about Mo, just a bunch of gratuitous stuff here, ripping my good buddy Mo. But it does say, did you hear Geldy on the radio play-by-play? No, actually, I didn't even think to come in here and pot it up. He sounded good, very good as a matter of fact, almost too good to stay in this market. I told you he was going to be good. Haven't I said that continuously, constantly?
Yes.
Haven't I?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes, you did.
Yes, I have, all along, because I knew he was going to do an excellent job, and certainly a huge improvement over both Chris Moron and that old fuddy-duddy, Jugs McDonald. Hey, Jugs, you may be a decent guy or whatever, I don't know. But you were, in fact, we got the NHL channel here, and they show all these old games. We got a whole bunch of channels that show old hockey games because these people are sick with it. And even old Islander games when they show on there with Jugs McDonald and other games I watched, he was the same. Jugs, you're a legend in your own mind, fuddy-duddy. But nevertheless, Geldy is going to be a superstar. I think he and the Bookster are going to be the South Florida sports stars of the future. What do you say, Josh?
Yeah, sounds about right.
You sound very enthusiastic about that.
Well, I'd have to hear Goldie.
Oh, man, now how come we haven't any spy reports other than this one? Because I'm not taking any calls, probably. I'm busy rambling on. Well, I like rambling on. Greg in Sebring says, I'm a 52-year-old fanatic of Malcolm in the Middle, so we get America's Funniest Home Videos and Malcolm in the Middle. He says, I knew a lot of kids when growing up had parents just like Hal and Lois. I see. I wonder if anybody had parents like Archie and Edith. Let's see. Here it is. It says, I want to add one to the poll from Eric in Jupiter. But we're getting polls, faxes from all over the place, man, from Jupiter to Uranus. The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. How could we have left that off? We got the Chappelle Show on there.
We were just talking about it earlier.
Well, how come we left it off?
Well, it's on there now.
It's going to go zooming toward the top. It might even pass that jackass Jerry Seinfeld.
Let's hope.
Who's in first place now with 116 and All in the Family 108. I think we're getting freaked on that. I'm not buying that. I know it was huge and very popular and yada, yada, yada. But I don't care. I mean, the idea that it could be All in the Family, that must be a MASH. See, that already got a vote. It's moving up fast. It got one. It's zooming up there, man. Oh, wait till you hear this. This is a heartwarming story. Of course, we're pretty pissed off that it didn't happen to us. Not the hurricane part, but Jacqueline Sherman hadn't had much luck since Hurricane Katrina sent her fleeing from her New Orleans home, but that changed on Tuesday when the money came flooding in instead of the water. The 57-year-old retired librarian won $1.6 million playing the slot machine at Evangeline Downs in Opelousas, Louisiana. How do you like that, Josh? $1.6 million playing the old slots.
I'll be playing sometime.
Yeah, you'll
get around to it eventually.
You'll be in Opelousas before midnight. When asked how she'd spend the money, Sherman replied, first of all, I'd like to find somewhere to live because my house was destroyed by Katrina. Sherman had been staying in her sister's 3-bedroom home in Opelousas with about 26 other people since Katrina flooded 80% of New Orleans and left her homeless. With I'm going to kill myself, right? I'm going to jump off my balcony. I'm going down.
Hey, take the mic with you, could you?
With $20 in hand, Sherman was en route with her sister to do some shopping when on a whim she decided to try her luck at the slots. I was on the road to Kmart and decided to stop at the casino, which is around the corner from her sister's home.
Careful. Close the window.
17 quarters, $4.25 later, she was a millionaire. When you first see it happen, you just go dunce, said Sherman, still appearing somewhat dazed by her good fortune. You just don't realize you just don't realize what done happened until the person next to you hits you and says, when you done it? Oh, no, I'm sorry, when you done did it. I'm done, I did it.
You done did it?
Oh, boy. $4.25, 17 quarters. And she wins $1.6 million. So you see, Barbara Bush had an excellent point. These people are really a lot better off now than they used to be.
This is working out very well for them.
They're moving on up with the Jeffersons. How do you like that? Now, that should inspire Josh. Take like $5. And, of course, with that big new raise you're getting, probably like maybe $10.
Well, we got to see if that happens.
That is, of course, if we ever get real slots in South Florida, which we're still waiting on pins and needles for that. Understand the people at Pompano Park. You know, they own 2 of the Biloxi casinos that went kaboom.
That went ashore?
Yeah. So they got some issues over there, sort of like putting their lives back together again. But I still say, look at all the money that's being lost every single day in Florida for education and all the jobs that people could be working right now because of the fact that the fat-ass governor and legislature continue dragging their feet. Here it's the 6th of October. The deadline was the 1st of July, for Christ's sake. August, September, October. That's like 3 months ago in 5 days. 3 months and 5 days ago was the deadline. And are they doing it?
No.
Are we reading any more about it?
No.
Are they having that special session?
No.
Nice going. WQAM, hello. Not there. That line 1 man's got real issues. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I actually have a funny quick story for you. I worked on a charter boat, and it's really strange, this story I have. We used to go and pick up Denise Hotvan at his house. And it was and it was the funniest thing because we had Chris Moore, who was a spastic at the mouth with his vocabulary.
Yeah.
And Kelly was sleeping on the couch, and Denise was just absolutely diarrhea all over the place. And wait a second, the best part of it all is that we had the Rimmer throwing up over the side, begging to go home. It was the funniest damn thing you'd ever seen.
What are you talking about, sir?
Oh, it was unbelievable. It was the most amazing thing. We had all of them on a boat at the same time when we used to go pick up these people at their house. It was the funniest thing.
Next time you have a dream like that, call us back, because that was moderately entertaining. Yeah. WQAM, hello. QAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Good. 3 quick points. Did you put Friends on that poll?
Friends needs to be on there. Not that I like it or anything like that.
Well,
but Friends...
it was just a funny show, you know.
Yeah.
Second, with Jerry Seinfeld, you're right. He's not funny. But George and Kramer are. They made that show what it is. It wasn't Jerry Seinfeld.
Was that a Crazy Kramer or Brad Kramer?
And listen, you know today's your boy's birthday, right?
Who's that?
Your favorite lobbyist. You know, he's 80 years old today. And that goes to show you, when you play Moses, you know God lets you live forever.
Oh, that's right. Somebody called yesterday and said it was, well, unhappy birthday to you, Chuck.
I know.
Okay, thanks for the bad news. Thanks for the bad reminder. Have a great day, Pally. We'll see you. God. A little bit too hyper for me. Maybe he was also in that group with Denise Potvin and remember. Like that.
And they were blowing chunks?
They were blowing chunks. I don't know. Do you have any idea what he was talking about? Look at this. It's 11:56. Do you know where your children are right now?
Yes.
21 votes away from 800, 779, and that is really fine. Huh? Fine as GI wine. That is amazing. 779. We're going to be over 800 by the top of the hour, Josh Cordes. Write that down on your sleeve.
If we get over 1,000, we get that bonus.
And we get that humongous bonus. In fact, Duff said he's got something special for Josh tomorrow morning if we can get it.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
I am Frau Iliana Ross-Leitman, and I like scrubbing my smelly gorilla ass with soap made from Jews and listening to the Neil Roque Comunista Hour.
From the makers of Lost, Supernatural, Threshold, Invasion, and Surface comes another show about aliens and weird creatures that live underground or in your attic or underwater. Spike TV presents The Poop Your Pants Show. You'll see a monster or an alien or a guy possessed by a demon. Whatever it is, it'll be on The Poop Your Pants Show. The Poop Your Pants Show. Don't miss the series premiere when two brothers stranded on a mysterious island run for the hatch and discover an underwater creature while being chased by aliens and the Lucky Charms leprechaun.
Run! Run! What is that? I don't know! Magically delivered! I poop my pants!
Some scenes may not be suitable for children under 15 or adults with irritable bowel syndrome. The Poop Your Pants Show may be disturbing, graphic, and completely implausible. Put your TV in your bathroom for the Poop Your Pants Show.
Oh my God! What is that? I don't know!
Ranch!
It's a ranch, dude! I poop my pants!
Series premiere brought to you without commercial interruption by Depends Adult Diapers and KO Pectate. The Poop Your Pants Show on Spike TV.
Welcome. It's 12 noon exactly, and we got 800 votes. Mark that down. In fact, I think that now we can go home.
Let's do it.
Wasn't that the info we had this morning?
Right.
If you guys can get 800 votes by noon, that we, number one, wouldn't even believe it. I bet you Joel Feinberg can't believe it. He's probably like having like some kind of a gastric attack right now, just thinking about it. Funniest TV show, we got a 2-horse race. Monty Python Flying Circus got off to a really good start, but they've like kind of sagged to third right now. Because let's face it, how many people actually saw that show?
About 30, man.
It was on PBS.
Right. 100
In
years
addition,
ago.
they're, as much as I love them, their brand of humor is way over the head of a lot of your average schmuck out there.
Yeah, I think.
As opposed to, now did we put Friends on there, please?
We did, please.
Oh,
Thank you.
as opposed to Seinfeld. You don't have to be like an intellectual to watch that show.
All right.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Does that make it not funny?
No, that isn't what made it not funny. The script and the cast made it not funny. 124 for Seinfeld, All in the Family 110. That's like comparing a steak from Ruth Chris Steakhouse with some of the stuff that's floating in the water in New Orleans from where I sit, okay? That's my perspective. Not that anybody cares, because everybody knows I got really bad taste. But anyway, oh, now where's the, what was I going to play? Oh, here it is. See, I give a tip off there. Well, I don't know what it is. I just like the song. I didn't like this show either, because I don't like anything. But I love the song.
Here's Johnny.
I'll tell you one thing. We sure had a lot of fun when he died, you know. I mean, that sounds sick.
We did?
I don't mean it. Huh?
We did?
Well, yeah, we did. I mean, we did a lot of talk about it. We played that theme over and over again.
That was fun.
Huh?
Sure.
Made fun of Ed McMahon being an old drunk.
You have to wait for him to die to
all
do
that crap he's involved with Dick Clark, by the way. See, you show me a person's friends, and I'll tell you a lot about that person. So
right.
when Ed McMahon hangs around with Dick Clark, what does that tell you? Because everybody's on the dick. Oh! Okay. The Bush administration's former chief procurement official was indicted yesterday by a federal grand jury on charges of making false statements and obstructing investigations into high-powered Republican lobbyist Jack Abramoff. You're going to see, this is going to make Watergate look like a Sunday picnic. You'll see.
All right.
The 5 felony counts in the indictment charged David H. Safavian with obstructing Senate and executive branch investigations into whether he aided Abramoff in efforts to acquire property controlled by the General Services Administration, the GSA, around the nation's capital. Both probes looked into an August 2002 golf outing that Safavian took to Scotland with Abramoff, former Christian Coalition executive Ralph Reed, Representative Bob Ney, Republican of Ohio, and others. Sullivan, a former lobbying associate of Abramoff, is the first person beyond Abramoff himself to face charges arising out of the probe of the lobbyist, who's a major Republican fundraiser with close ties to GOP leaders in Congress. Oh, my. It's just beginning to unravel. Like I told you, the whole deck of cards, just like them, is falling dominoes. You know, we've all seen those things where, like in different parts of the world, they have those dominoes, you know, all lined up and like 80 trillion of them to try to break the Guinness World of Records. Mm-hmm. And then they get a little plink on the first one, like Plinko, you know, a little plink. And all of a sudden it's like that domino effect. And all of a sudden, like 80 zillion dominoes go like tumbling down. That's kind of fun to watch that, you know?
Yeah, it is.
Now, what happens when, like, about the 10,000th one, like, falls cockeyed or something? It didn't work.
The guy that set it up has to commit suicide.
In Japan, I would think, yeah. Just to do the honorable thing. WQAM, hello.
Neil, how are you?
Yes, sir. Okay.
All right. Gotta say I love you. I've been listening to you since I was a kid. It's
About
amazing
80
to me
years ago, right?
Neil, how long have you been going screenless? For a while now, right?
About 20 years.
About 30, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my point is it's amazing how these callers call up.
Yeah, I know. They're stupid. What do you want? They're stupid, man.
Yeah. Listen, two things for the poll, and the one that you're doing for the show, too. The Richard Van Dyke show.
Dick Van Dyke. Oh, no.
I didn't want to say the D word, because,
Okay.
And the other one is the Twilight Zone, sir. You wouldn't agree that was a funny show? I mean, it's ridiculous.
5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon and Singular Wireless line. That was pretty good, wasn't it?
I'm still laughing.
A panic. It's only one response I have to you, sir. Yeah. WQAM, hello.
Neil, how are you doing?
Pretty good, Pally.
Good. Listen, on this, I don't want to switch topics. But
remember that movie When Harry Met Pally? Go ahead.
On the Myers nomination, ever since Reagan, these people have been using the abortion issue and the morals issue to get these Bible thumpers out to vote every time, and every time they have a chance to make their promise true, they don't. It's just so this cash cow keeps coming back to them every election, And these morons don't notice it. I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
Another quick thing. I agree with you on everything about The Godfather, which is great. But if I were to tell you that I think I think Michael did a better job than Don Corleone in acting, would you think I'm crazy?
Well, here'd be my response to that.
What's the matter with you? I think your brain is going soft.
Yeah.
Michael was good, but there's only one Marlon Brando, man. Rest in
no, I think he did a great job. I always look forward to watching, the second part where, and that number 3 is unwatchable. That Connie, oh my God, she sucks. One more thing,
maybe they should be scared of you.
Yeah, maybe. Listen, I am Luca Brasi's brother. Listen,
that was the line in the movie. It says to Connie, maybe they should fear you. Don't you remember when they kept reprising all those old lines? And she says,
I know,
Michael, now they will fear you. And he looks at her with that real corny look and says, maybe they ought to fear you.
I heard you say, give the movie number 3 a try, so I gave it. And when that woman said, if I give the order, I jumped off my seat and just took it off.
Yeah.
Listen,
well, it's too bad that the script was so bad and too many bad actors and bad acting jobs, because I still say that the story in there, the whole story of the crookedness of the Vatican and the Pope and the Bishop, they're killing the murder of the Pope, very, very important stuff, and the hanging of Roberto Calvi, etc. But nobody cares about that.
Nobody cares. Listen, Neil.
All cares that Sophia should have been shot in the beginning instead of in the end.
Please, after your contract's over, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Please.
Yeah, okay, see ya. You're not my type.
I don't feel I have to wipe everybody out. Just my enemy. That's all.
Well, let me tell you something, my Mick friend.
He was great, too.
Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes.
Do you know who I am? I'm Mo Green. I made my bones when you were going out with cheerleaders.
And maybe the most famous line ever from a movie. I could be wrong about that. We've done the polls on favorite lines. But
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Right?
Right. That's it.
Huh?
That's it. That's the line. The line.
Yeah.
For all time.
You're taking this very personal.
Now, that's another one that gets quoted very, very much, okay? Mm-hmm. It's business, and you're taking it personal. Only business. And then, of course, another great line from The Godfather.
Get the chalk!
Oh, why can't we play that whole line, Joyce?
Let's do it.
Bitch. Yeah, you do it. You're on next week. You do it once.
All right.
Nice knowing
you.
You.
Twice.
Yeah. Well, it needs a bleep.
Yeah.
I think it needs a couple of bleeps.
A bigger bleep.
Oh, is there a bleep in it?
Sure.
During the break, I'm going to listen to it in cue just to see. I'm not chancing that one. No way. It's not a good bleep. It needs a big, or maybe just like that. So let's hear some feedback on Geldy's debut last night as the voice of your Florida Panthers. Well, not that I want to talk hockey, you understand, because that's the kiss of death, man. That would be the end of the road for this kid. But would you think that somebody would have something to say? WQAM, hello. QAM.
Hello.
Yep.
Is Neil there?
No. WQAM, hello.
Neil there.
I beg your pardon?
Is Neil there?
No. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Yes, Neil.
Yes.
I have a suggestion for a poll.
Okay.
It would be what, suck or sucks? And my contribution would be wind chimes.
That's pretty deep. Yeah.
One told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke, your love life's the old way. You're always stuck in second gear. But when it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, even your year. I'll be there for you.
Oh, I gotta hear that Schlemiel Schlemazel. That just sends me right to the bowl.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
See, I just, to this day, I don't get that. I mean, I realize that people at all these Jews in New York that write a lot of this crap, they are what they are, you know?
Here, let me explain it.
Yeah.
A bunch of idiots in some studio, some network studio room somewhere decided to put a stupid show on with a stupid theme song.
Yeah.
And they made it happen.
No, but that's not my point. The point about the Schlemiel and Schlemazel, it's just not for Goyim, okay?
They heard some ridiculous words and threw them in there.
Right, but then again, Penny Marshall isn't for Goyim either. In fact, she's not for anybody. She's just from hunger. That could have been. I know we did the thing about the worst TV show of all time. If that isn't in the top 10, I can't imagine what else could be. Besides, of course, the thing they just made the movie about, Dukes of Hazzard.
Oof.
Oh, well, that John Schneider sure was pretty, and he had some real interesting hair. He wasn't just, what do you call that blonde? What do they call that?
Like corn silk? I don't know.
No, it's almost white. Corn silk? Where the hell did that come from?
That's that stuff, when you're shucking corn.
Yeah. Oh, shucks. Yeah, I know. That damn that's a pain in the ass, too.
Yeah, it is. But it's sure it's special.
And of course, depending on what you're going to do with the corn cob. 822 votes. We are just pleased as punch, man, even though some of these may be fake on the Seinfeld thing. Do you believe that, or do you think it's a freak job?
I think a little of both.
Huh?
I think a little of both.
Because we got a big battle there. Seinfeld 128, All in the Family 113, and Carol O'Connor may just come back in because he's so pissed off about it.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Thank you. Yep. Can you feel that they're like, I love her? So what would people be most surprised to know about you, do you think?
You know what? I have to say I'm so totally by...
That's right.
Yeah.
And I am personally by...
Yes.
So we're not going to sit and pretend like we don't know each other because we hooked up.
Yes.
Straight making out.
I love that.
In the same bed. That is real friends.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell the people what you said to me.
I looked over at her and I said, you know what? I have to say I'm feeling a feeling I don't know if I've ever actually felt before. And I don't want to be anywhere other than where I am right now.
Here's my video diary of just one night with Jennifer. Oh, my God. Yeah, how does that feel?
Pretty fantastic.
Yes.
Absolutely. And it was just fantastic.
Because you really did come.
Yeah.
Did you lose yourself?
Yeah, sure. I mean, come on. It's sort of like...
Shazam.
Shazam.
We'll be right back.
George's favorite TV theme of all time, boys and girls.
Good God.
We're not doing TV themes. I just got carried away with the Johnny Carson.
Well, I'm
and the All in the Family, of course.
Almost throw up my chicken fingers.
Wait till you hear this article, man. Not that I want to take time from these fantastic calls. D.P. Sorensen. Now, who's that?
Don't know.
He writes for the Salt Lake Weekly. Salt Lake City.
Might be a Mormon.
Boozer Bush. W gets by with little help from Jack and Jim. It doesn't explain everything, but it explains a lot. George Bush, our president, is hitting the bottle again. The drinking rumors have been making the rounds for months, and even before that, people speculated that Bush's accidents, choking on a pretzel, dropping his dog, crashing his bicycle, were alcohol-related. For someone who makes such a point of flaunting his physical prowess, his habitual clumsiness is somewhat suspicious. After all, Bushy, his wife Laura's pet name for him, just as it's his pet name for her, which is a bit creepy, first gained prominence as a high-kicking, back-flipping, sis-boom-ba male cheerleader at Yale. Of course, we are all familiar with Bush's epic battle with the bottle. He boozes his way through college. He's persistently liquored up through his 20s, failing to show up for National Guard duty, but never missing booze-drenched weekend barbecues with his Texas buddies. Into his 30s...
About 30, man.
He is so continuously sloshed that he screws up every sure-thing business venture his daddy sets up for him. At 40, so the story goes, his wife gives him the made-for-the-movie soundbite ultimatum, Bushy, it's me or Jim Beam. And the chastened former cheerleader renounces booze forever. In a medium shot, we see Bushy mournfully pouring out the last of a fifth of bourbon onto the patio pavement, while Laura witnesses the act with a wifely look of affection, relief, and secret triumph. Bush's renunciation of booze has gained such mythic status that many people, Republican true believers, conveniently overlook the fact that his renunciation of adult beverages was hardly a redemptive turn of fortune. All that happened was that Bush, the obnoxious drunk, became Bush, the obnoxious teetotaler, proclaiming that his life was now in the hands of Jesus Christ, not Jim Beam. But the recent revelations about Bush slugging down Southern comfort as Iraq goes down the tubes, as Iraq goes down the tubes, and New Orleans goes down the drain, calls into question whether he actually gave up booze and gave his life to Jesus in the first place. That Bush continued to hit the sauce after taking the pledge explains a good deal of his weird behavior. 1 minute scared schmittless, the next after a secret swig of early times inflated with Texas swagger. 1 minute Bush goes limp with fright when desperate aides inform him that the planes have crashed in the World Trade Center. The next minute, stiff with bravado, he boasts of his resolve to get Osama dead or alive. 1 minute, when he hears Hurricane Katrina howling, he cringes like a scaredy cat behind his mama. After a few pops of old granddad, he's full of phony bluster, telling his feckless FEMA chief, Brownie, you're doing a heck of a job. Other creepy traits of our commander-in-chief make sense when he's seen in light of his unacknowledged alcoholism. There is his adolescent habit, for instance, of conferring nicknames on all who come within his ken. We all know drunks who, deep in the throes of inebriated bonhomie, bestow terms of affection on friend and foe alike. Bonami, bonhomie, bon jovi. One can almost feel Bush's sticky breath in his humid embrace as he christens his Confederates, immortalizing them with his own special brand of corny wit. Turd Blossom for Karl Rove, Lima Green Bean for Karen Hughes, number 1 for Barbara Bush, who's no doubt relieved that Junior did not name her number 2. Ooh, yeah. She's number 2 in our book. Balloon Foot for Colin Powell. Ali for Barbara Boxer. Big O for Olympia Snow, who may or may not wonder at the cheekiness of Little G's presumption regarding the magnitude of her orgasms. And last but not least, Pootie Poot. Vladimir Putin, who in times past might have launched the doomsday machine upon receiving a moniker with connotations of the female genitalia. Bush's prolonged sousitude also explains his verbal miscues, his syntactical insurgencies, his grammatical catastrophes. It's as if the bourbon marinade left deadly in his already diminutive brain, making it impossible for the most elementary thought to navigate its way through the decimated labyrinth of his frontal lobes. Then there are quirky smirks, the bug-eyed glares, and goofy grimaces, his words and facial expressions so out of sync that you're reminded of a badly dubbed Japanese monster movie. Finally, what about all these lip gyrations when Bushy is under stress, the tiny mouth working this way and that as if it were engaged in attempting to remove the cap from a bottle? It must be the sauce.
All right.
I wonder if it's that same sauce that they use on the Big Mac that smells like Barbara Bush.
The secret sauce?
The secret sauce.
Or the special
Or is it
sauce?
The secret sauce in the White House? 860 votes. We're going to go like way over 900 by 1 o'clock, and people from coast to coast, people all over North America are going to be talking about it.
Well,
Did you hear that?
Smell that money.
Yeah. Man, they're going to come in after the show, and they're just going to throw bags full of money at both you guys. Bags. Yeah.
Bags of something.
Well, maybe the water Nazi might be one.
One
WQAM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Good. Hey, I'm a type 2 diabetic. I'm 43.
Yes?
My feet are starting to get numb.
Well, been nice knowing you.
Hey, Neil.
Yeah.
I have a suggestion for your poll also. WKRP in Cincinnati.
Okay, that was a bad show.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
It was big.
It was funny.
Okay, put the ice cream down, Pally.
How did you know?
Yeah, see ya.
All right, bye.
So we're wondering what show was funny since all these shows sucked.
All in the Family.
Right. No, I'm talking about like, you know, in this decade maybe.
That's why I don't watch any of them.
I see. But they suck.
Huh?
But they suck.
Oh, I've seen them.
Okay.
Maybe a few minutes of them.
My question is there any
Simpsons, South Park?
Okay.
But you don't watch them.
Snippets here and there.
Okay.
Great shows. This era. Real funny shows. Well, you tell me some.
Simpsons, South Park, The Daily Show, Family Guy.
Yeah, Family Guy I haven't seen.
It's very funny. I'll send you the DVD of the movie.
So in other words, what you're trying to tell me is that there are a whole bunch of really funny shows on the air now.
Well, like WKRP was a very funny show.
No, I did not think it was a funny show at all.
Okay.
In fact, the guy with a mustache, what was his name that was the DJ?
Dr. Johnny Fever.
Yeah.
Hessman, Howard Hessman.
It didn't amuse me, that's all. I just didn't find it even the least bit amusing.
All right.
Especially being in the business. I'm just not into cornball sitcoms. They just don't do it for me.
Because you didn't like Seinfeld. I think you're anti-Semitic.
Family Ties. And,
that was not funny.
All the shows of that genre, man. Just 80s in them.
All right, just checking.
Bonnie, what that was it? Bonnie Franklin. What was that show?
One Day at a Time. No.
One gay at a time. They're just like 80s Indian shows like that, and that's not of this era. That's a lot longer ago than this. And those shows sucked.
One Day at a Time did suck. Although Bonnie Franklin never wore a bra.
Well, now there's a reason to watch. How about Happy Days? No, that's
not
this era.
Bad, brutal show.
That was one of the most popular shows in TV history, mister. Well, so if you're questioning if anybody tells me I don't have a sense of humor, they obviously never listen to this show and they don't work for Greg Reed, okay? There's 2 points for me right there.
All right.
But
just checking.
I don't watch The Daily Show. I grant you.
Very funny.
I've seen clips and they were very, very funny, and I like Jon Stewart a lot. I just don't watch it. That's all. It's not part of my life.
I had to warm up to it.
But it wouldn't make any difference if I thought it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'm not interested in watching those kind of shows. It's just when you reach a certain point in your life, you don't have time for certain whatever.
Comedy?
Yeah, exactly. And there could be a reason. That's it. I've lost a little bit of my sense of humor over the last 4 years. But then again, you wouldn't know anything about that.
Right, being humorless.
872 votes. We got a battle going on. Seinfeld 136. Now, so are you telling me that Seinfeld was funny?
It has been funny. Some of the shows were hysterical. Not because he was, but that wasn't the point of the show. Some of the shows were hysterical. Laugh right.
I think I'm going to get on
the
floor right now on my just crawl around on the floor for a half an hour.
The masturbation show was hysterical.
Now, what word did you just say?
The masturbation show.
Right.
When they went to that station. The one where they
went
to
watch
India.
yourself, mister. Well, naturally, that would be right up your alley, you know. Anything sexual, that made it a good show.
Well, no, it was funny.
Was Dr. Ruth
the
good?
Contest.
Dr. Ruth, she probably had a show.
Yeah, that wasn't funny. There's nothing funny about her. She's funny looking,
there's something funny about her, all right. The thought about her talking about sex is most amusing.
It's a panic.
Yeah. Well, there you go. What I tell you? She's a lot funnier to me than Jerry Seinfeld.
Sure.
Look at
without a word.
We're in the process of rebidding them already.
There's David Paulson, the new acting team director. He's acting just like Brownie was acting.
Contracts and
doing a better job.
And then they were in the
acting
process of starting to do that, and maybe they should have done sooner.
Paulson reiterated his commitment to get the 60,000 hurricane victims still in shelters in some other kind of housing by the middle of this month.
Right, but just make sure they don't come back because obviously we don't want too many dark folks back.
Those trailers look like very nicely appointed.
Are they really?
Well,
who appointed them?
They were just showing them.
Who appointed them? Probably the same guy that appointed Brownie Brown as director of FEMA. The fact that there is so little outrage about this kind of stuff, and all these totally... it goes along with that whole concept of mediocreism. Oh, I like that word. Cronyism and mediocreism.
Let's patent it.
Yeah. Let's not find the best and the brightest, because they would make Bush look even worse than he already does. Anybody brighter than a dim bulb. Oh, speaking of dim, what about Cuckoo's Nest? What about Clockwork Orange?
What about it? That was funny.
It wasn't a TV show.
No,
but it was kind of funny.
Comedy.
It was funny in a very sick way.
Hey, Josh, like that movie.
Prime time tonight at 8. A single mother struggling with inner demons, face to face with a suspected killer on the run.
I thought to myself, this is not good.
So I think I'll offer him some meth.
Oh, thank God television is doing so much to elevate the brains of the American public, man. Really, really working on your mind. That's why we got so many great shows on that poll today.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, Sarasota, Wichita, Tulsa, Ottawa, Oklahoma, Tampa, Panama, Mattawa, Loppala.
We're going to South Carolina and Oklahoma and Arizona and North Dakota and New Mexico and Texas and New York.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man.
We're going to California and New York. We're going to South Dakota and Oregon.
Travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
And North Dakota and New Mexico.
I've been to Boston, Charleston, Dayton, Louisiana.
And Oregon. We're going to California and Texas.
Santa Fe, Dolphins, Glen Rock, Black Rock, Little Rock, Austin.
We're going to South Dakota and Michigan.
Grand Lake, Devils Lake, Crater Lake, and Deep Lake. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House. Yeah!
I guarantee you, he would have kicked Bush's ass in 2004.
Oh.
Guaranteed.
Wasn't part of the Illuminati or whatever.
If it weren't for the fact the media, of course, very willingly and enthusiastically conspired to make him look like some kind of an irresponsible, gone not-so jackass.
Well, they were bought off long ago.
So our Dutch friend out there says, and boy, talk about a hard ass. Well, that's those Dutch, man. They are really...
Are they?
If you go to Amsterdam ever, just avoid the Dutch. No, I'm serious.
How the hell do you do that?
You go there to mingle with the tourists and wonderful people from all over the world.
Okay.
Not the Dutch. The Dutch are just, wow,
All right.
They are tough. At least the Brits have got an excuse. I feel sorry for the Brits. They just brought up in that constipated mentality with that whole royalty thing. It's like a noose around their neck. They can't help it.
Mm-hmm.
But the Dutch have no excuse. Maybe it's a bad cuisine. Anyway, he says, yesterday I listened for 5 minutes to Geldy's first Panther commentary. First of all, it's not a commentary. It's called play-by-play. It's like listening to a high school kid doing a high school game. Why is it that so many people get jobs on that station with no experience? It's not who you know, but who you... Up there, he says, watch your language, okay? That's the problem with this country. If you know someone, you get a job somewhere. Ask Mikey Brown, he says. There's that old Brownie Brown. It sucks. Get some quality people. There's not options anymore. Dewey, says Tom Dewey.
Dewey what?
Dewey Decimal System. So that's what he says. Now, it'd be nice if we got some calls on that, but of course it's narrowcasting again. I don't want to talk about the Panthers or the hockey game, although obviously they're going to be very good this year and had a nice start. But it would be nice to hear a little about Geldy. The report I got was very good. The only problem from that being it was from Duff, who wouldn't know a hockey broadcaster if somebody slapped him across the
rectum
butt with it, you know.
Now, has Rimmer given you his critique yet?
You know, I was having a fine day up until this moment. Oh, and let me just point this out to you that dawned on me because I'm a little slow today. WKRP in Cincinnati is not a recent TV show.
No, that was...
By any... It's older than Methuselah.
Right.
So the fact that I didn't like that show... let me just astonish you by telling you a whole bunch of shows that I didn't like at all.
No, I want to hear about the ones you did.
I didn't like the Beverly Hillbillies. I didn't like Green Acres. I didn't like Green Acres.
That wasn't funny.
I didn't watch...
Hillbillies was very funny.
I didn't watch The Love Boat. I didn't watch... I didn't watch Hogan's Heroes.
Very funny.
I didn't watch Gilligan's Island. I didn't like any of those shows.
The question was, what shows did you think were funny?
Yeah.
That was the question.
No, but you were saying recent.
Or ever, for that matter.
Oh, give me a break. Let's go down the list. All in the Family, hysterical. Monty Python, sensational.
Okay.
Simpsons, South Park, Chappelle Show, I haven't seen, but I'll take your word for it. Married with Children, I hated. Tonight Show, couldn't stand it. Not with him. Faulty Towers, so-so. Had its moments. Cheers, bad. Jefferson's hysterical.
Okay.
Jackie Gleason Show, great. SNL, great. Carol Burnett Show, could live without it. In Living Color was very funny. I Love Lucy, in its day, was very funny.
Right.
Honeymooners was great. Curb Your Enthusiasm, never seen it.
No.
Sanford and Son, not for me. Benny Hill Show, okay, as those great shows
very
go.
Very campy
right.
stuff. Is,
Yeah. Laugh-In was a panic. Show Sid Caesar was hysterical.
All right.
The Gong Show, Steve Allen Show was the funniest show ever, but it's just dated. It's old. The Gong Show was it was funny, but it was the same thing every day. In fact, we have the Gong Show out there. How come we don't have Jerry Springer Show on there? That's a comedy show. Well, what do you?
Not
why
by
are you
design.
laughing?
It is now, but I mean, we could put it on there, but
it is now. Like it was really ever on there to deal with.
Well, you know the story of that.
No,
it was like all the other shows and they were about to get canceled when they decided to take that turn.
It's a comedy show where they just have the spanking midgets and the adulterous whatever every day. It's a comedy show. It'll get a lot of votes, and it's certainly a hell of a lot funnier than some of the ones you're touting, like WKRP in Cincinnati.
It was funny.
Everybody Loves Raymond, 7. That's not funny. MASH, didn't like it, 6. SCTV, great, 6.
Yes.
One of the funniest, and the whole cast of that.
Yes.
David Letterman, 6. Not for me. Daily Show with Jon Stewart, I'm sure is very funny. I don't watch it. Munsters was okay. It has moments. The Al G Show.
The Ali G Show?
The Ali G. Well, see, that's...
I want that show to be funny,
I haven't seen it.
But it's not.
Soap was okay. It was
okay.
funny for about 2 seconds. Will and Grace, not for me. 4. Soupy Sales Show was great. Ernie Kovac Show, sensational. Are You Being Served? Never heard of it. Arrested Development, never seen it. 70 Show, bad. Dream of Jeannie, great. Get Smart, not for me. Didn't like it.
So you liked I Dream of Jeannie, but you didn't like the Beverly Hillbillies.
Right.
Now, I Dream of Jeannie was cute, and I never missed an episode.
Well, what does the Beverly Hillbillies have to do with I Dream of Jeannie, mister?
Because you said you didn't think it was funny, and I'm questioning whether you actually ever saw an episode of it.
Oh, of course. Before you were born.
I would imagine that some of those shows were hysterical. They ripped into everything, the Beverly Hillbillies. They satirized everything and everyone, including themselves. and it was a panic.
But what does that have to do with I Dream of Jeannie?
Because just on the same level.
I Dream of Jeannie who were they satirizing in I Dream of Jeannie?
Nobody, and the shows were just when you watch them again, it's like, you know what? I didn't realize the show wasn't really funny.
Oh.
And Bewitched, same thing. Never missed an episode.
Oh.
But it was only cute.
This is blasphemy.
I never laughed unless it was like Paul Lynde made a guest appearance. Then I split my seams. But other than that,
fairy.
Well,
yeah,
Paul. Anyway, great theme song in both cases.
Oh!
See, there are different kinds of humor, okay?
No
now,
question.
I Dream of Jeannie wasn't one of those like the old Steve Allen show where you'd like laugh so hard you'd almost pee in your pants, just rollicking
a lot
laughter.
of sight gags.
But it was cute and it was amusing,
cute.
and yes, you would laugh. You would laugh during that half hour. I don't care what you say.
When I was a kid, I would laugh,
show.
and then I tried watching it again. And other than Barbara Eden being really, really hot, I failed to see the comedy of it.
Oh. I just
it was a lot of
scream.
sight gags, a lot of very primitive sight gags. She would blink.
I'll tell you what was funny too, but it wasn't supposed to be a comedy.
To the Batmobile.
Oh,
let's go.
I think it was.
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed. Roger. Ready to move out.
In fact, it was funny and very gay.
Oh! All right. Cube.
Now, I'll tell you, here's another one, a show that was supposed to be funny and is one of the most, it has one of the greatest cult followings of any show in the history of television. I could never begin to tell you why. Can I give you a clue?
Oh, yeah.
Here's the story.
Now, don't put it on there because if anybody would vote for the Brady Bunch was funny. I'll tell you another one since you watched
we could spend all day talking
Barbara
about
Eden because she was hot. My Three Sons was supposed to be a comedy.
But it was
funny?
not. No.
I watched because of Rob Grady.
Right.
Or whatever his name was.
All have our reasons
Don
for watching
Grady.
different shows.
Yeah, Don Grady. He would every time I mentioned Don Grady, I got to say he was doing Ferris Fawcett. I don't know why.
On a similar subject, Leave It to Beaver. Everybody watched it. Was it ever funny?
No, it's like in the same genre as Ozzie and Harriet.
It was just.
Well, but those shows were kind of like amusing sitcoms. In other words, not like I don't know how to
they were
describe those.
amusing.
Like amusing in a very like Ozzie and Harriet.
They were safe.
Put you in a coma. They were like Dave Van Boring sitcoms.
Very safe comedy that sure to offend no one.
And by the way, what did Ozzie do for a living?
That's a good question. What did Ward do?
Cleaver. He was like the OJ, the latter-day OJ. Hey, Ward, Cleaver? Not yet.
I got a couple
when are you going to do it?
I'm not
June.
going to go there.
925 votes. We might have close to 1,000 by one. Oh, holy happy day. Let's get the Edwin Hawkins Singers. You got it again? The Edwin Hawkins Singers and Oh Happy Day. Oh Happy Gay. This is amazing to me. This is shocking. Revolutionary. And a guy that called and said, well, what does it mean? It means we got a whole crap load of people out there, maybe people in the poll too, but we don't care. Oh, happy day. Look at the battle we got going. Seinfeld 142, All in the Family 121. You All in the Family people better get with it. You better start creeping that one. Because if Seinfeld wins, I might do something rash next week, like go on vacation.
Now, we'll give you this. There's no comparison between Seinfeld and All in the Family.
Yeah.
None.
Of course not. That's why it's so ridiculous to me.
Harry
if you like
Appleton's
Seinfeld, that's fine with me. He was just way too Jewish for me. New York Jewish.
See, I think you're just an anti-Semite, that's all.
Okay.
Very self-hated.
Fernwood Tonight was freaking hilarious, as was the Larry Sanders Show, it says here. You calling me anti-Semitic would be like me, yeah, like me calling somebody gay. I don't want to mention no names. Fernwood Tonight, we got that. And again, I don't think it was hilarious.
I don't think I ever saw it.
Larry Sanders Show, oh. Wow. 12:42 at 5:60. Hey, listen, I'm just not a funny guy. I'm just a sour puss, and I got no sense of humor.
That's right. Sour old fart.
4.5 years ago, I was a panic.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
Interesting program.
Absolutely.
I urge everyone to complain to this station.
Way to wake up, crazy play.
Soul Train was a hit parade.
Pros like us, we had it made. Those were the days.
And you knew who you were then.
There were no
again. Maybe we could use a man like Marcus Garvey again. All the guys I knew were straight.
Why they want the thing to hate?
Eldorado ran gray. Those were the
Call 46 at 560 WQ. We got 951 votes, and it's not even 1 o'clock yet. This is shocking. This is a day that will live in infamy in the annals of broadcast history. Don't you agree?
Yes.
WQAM, hello.
Hello, yeah. Is this Neil Rogers show?
Yes, sir.
It's the president.
Yeah, I have one for the poll.
Yeah.
Carol Burnett show.
Carol Burnett show. She's already on there, sir, but have a nice day. Hated it.
Yeah.
Watched it from time to time.
It had some sketches that were cute and funny, but
she's got 14 votes. She's got 14. She's right under SNL, and to put her in the same category with SNL just leaves me limp. It's like putting Seinfeld in the same category with All in the Family.
No.
WQAM, hello.
Yeah, hi there. Is that Neil there?
Yes, sir, speaking.
Hey, Neil. Yeah, hi, Neil. How about Rocky and his friends and the original Superman with George Reeves?
Now, what was funny about Superman?
It was hilarious.
Cape on.
They had a fat guy with man boobs.
Yeah, that's true with George Reeves.
It was hilarious the way he was on the table, flying in the air practically.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, he's on my cable. He was doing well. Rocky and Bullwinkle ought to be on there.
Absolutely. Let's put it on there.
Now, there's one of my favorite shows. What's wrong with that? In fact, Boca Brian sent me all those discs, and I watched them, and, well. Rocky and Bullwinkle was great. And what was the spin-off on that? The one with the Canadian, the Royal Canadian Mounties with, what's his name?
Dudley Do-Right.
Dudley Do-Right. Now, what was the name of that show?
I don't know. I think that was a little featurette that they had within the Rocky and Bullwinkle.
No. There was another
Really?
show. There was a spin-off. Well, I could look it up in the book, but there's no way I'm going to do that because I got the TV book also. What is the funniest TV show of all time? Seinfeld 147, All in the Family 124, Monty Python Flying Circus 79, The Simpsons 71, South Park 70, Chappelle Show 47. How is Boris bad enough?
Not enough.
Family Guy, and what about Natasha? Family Guy 42, Married with Children 41. I'm not going to read all these because there's 80s in it. I'll just read the first page. Married with Children 41. Tonight with Johnny Carson 28. Faulty Towers 25. Cheers 24. See, I put the Rocky and Bullwinkle stuff in the same category with like South Park with those guys.
Okay, for its day. A lot of satire that was going over the heads of the kids.
A lot of satire. A lot of great voices, And of course, the voices on Rocky and Bullwinkle were more... Edward Horton. I wonder if he was kin to Tim Horton.
Yeah, he's dead now, I think.
He's dead, all right. Who else did the voices on it? Anyway,
would know.
He would know. We don't want to know, though. Cheers 24. Cheers. Jackie Gleason Show 19, Jefferson's 19, Saturday Night Live 15, Carol Burnett Show 14, with Tim Conway and...
Harvey Korman.
Yeah, Harvey Korman.
Some of the sketches were
13.
Good.
What?
Some of the sketches were good, but it was mostly
Vicki Lawrence. Right. I think she and Carol were doing something. The Honeymooners 12, Curb Your Enthusiasm 10, I Love Lucy 10, Benny Hill Show 10, and after that, single digits. I'm not going to waste hours and hours reading 7,000 different names. And again, we take the poll to find out your taste, and we know you like vanilla ice cream better than any other flavor, so obviously you like Seinfeld better than All in the Family. If it was going to be whatever we liked, then what would be the point of taking the poll, right?
Right.
We know a lot of your taste is in your tush. Wait till you hear this story. Now, what did I just tell you about Oprah?
Right. Don't make me wait.
What did I just tell you about that bitch?
That
you see, your life, both mentally and physically, will be better if you avoid Oprah. Because that bit we play with her. In fact, let me just play the beginning of that. One moment, please. Here it is. It's under.
Please welcome Jennifer.
See, and I don't know if you've ever watched any of that show, but it's like she's got all these women, the Stepford wives out there in the audience, and they're all hopped up on some doggy uppers or something.
If you watch the intro,
and then they all just go crazy.
Every time she says something, they have to pan to someone in the audience with this like moon-struck look on their face, practically crying.
Well, Glenwood Springs, Colorado, Angelique Fiorillo says the boulder that crashed through one wall of her second-story apartment out another might have struck her if she'd been in her usual spot watching Oprah. How do you like that? Or maybe if she'd been sitting in the living room eating some okra. Fiorillo said that she was in the neighbor's apartment when the table-sized rock thundered down Red Mountain Tuesday afternoon. We're like, oh, my God, what is that?
Oh, my God.
She said. We're like, her husband was at work, her two cats, Odin and Loki. took cover under a bedroom dresser and were unhurt. What's Odin and Loki?
Those are Norse gods.
No, really?
Yes.
Well, I'll be damned. So many gods in so little time. There's always...
Oh, God!
Rain had apparently loosened the mountainside, unleashed a slide that sent the boulder bouncing down the mountainside, glancing off tree branches, and then crashing through a corner of Fiorella's apartment. It landed on the grass lawn outside, leaving a trail of debris indoors and out. I'm doing okay. I'm alive, Fiorella said. She did say...
I have no life.
But other than that. So she was in her usual spot watching Oprah, and it saved her life. And it could do the same for you. All you silly women of America out there who are like brainwashed with a swill, with those silly-ass pastel backgrounds and those stupid couches. Swill rhymes with Dr. Phil. Now wait till you hear this. Crunk is good?
Is it? How good is it?
Yeah. You ever been crunked up?
Not today.
It's
early
yet. In fact, when I claimed my first horse at Hazel Park, Ray Crunk was the trainer-driver. Ray Crunk had a short wife about 2 feet tall. He was like understudy to Joe Marsh Jr., for those of you who are paying attention. Crunk is good. Among the new hot words, it's ova wicked, or is that just ova from that general in New Orleans? Ova. It's ova wicked and even underbuff. Have you ever heard any of these words?
Well, ova wicked, but not underbuff.
We have Crunk Juice energy drink here in the building.
Right.
Freshly
squeezed.
They're just some of the entries in a book published today that lists newly coined words as well as jargon used in technology, politics, and the media. Crunk, the American hybrid for crazy and drunk. Oh, are you talking about the president again? Is an example of how words evolve from popular culture, according to Susie Dent, author of Fanboys and Overdogs, The Language Report. Crunk is generating all sorts of offshoot terms in the U.S. Crunk and bee, crunk rock, crunkster, and looks to set to catch on in Britain too, Dent said. New words travel from one variety of English to another. And they speak English in England and Britain since when? And at a rapidly increasing rate thanks to the way languages exchange over email, chat rooms, TV, etc. Dent's new book also discusses the tendency to big up our language. Nothing is ever good or even great anymore. Instead, we opt for over wicked and under buff. Government appointees are czars, and experts are meisters. Oh, yeah. Spinmeisters, like left-wing spinmeisters. And the Bushmeister. And the Molmeister. Job titles also reflect this kind of inflation. The head of verbal communications is really just a receptionist, while stock boys have been promoted to stock replenishment executives.
All right.
As for the fanboys in the book's title, Dan said that the guys who are absorbed by a passion for comic books or computer games. Fanboys. The book also looks at vocabulary. In fact, that's what they do in China a lot.
Fanboys?
Yeah. You ever see those Chinese fans? I'm sure you have. What do they call those? Fans. The book also looks at vocabulary shift in the past century. The year 1905 saw the introduction of peace economy. With the next year came Tyrannosaurus. Tyrannosaurus. Or is that just Saurus? Many words on the list are related to events. 1940 introduced Jim Crow, and 1980 brought Reaganomics. Podcasting was last year's word. The frontrunner for the 2005 word of the year is Sudoku.
I beg your pardon.
Sudoku. How you be saying that? Sudoku?
Never heard it.
Sudoku. The logic puzzle that's replaced crosswords is a favorite way to kill time over lunch break. Sudoku.
Never heard it or
never
seen
heard of it? Don't know from it. Fanboys is Dent's third annual language review book. Publicist Sarah Kidd says Dent is a resident word expert on London Channel 4 Countdown program. Well, isn't that jolly wonderful, huh? And have a great day, mate.
Good
they
night.
are just. And I got thanks to George who did a lot of work and came up with very. But the one article I did find from EIU Online Store about that livability thing that I had a little blurb on yesterday. Well, we got more. How come we're not getting any calls about Geldy in that hockey game, damn it? WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
The funniest show of our time was the 2004 presidential debate.
Yeah, okay, great. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Couple things. One for the poll. How about night court?
Night court's good. I like that.
And regarding John Schneider, I think albino was the term you're looking for.
No, that wasn't the one I was thinking of, but he looks, on that show, he looked very close to albino, which is, of course, white hair. It was so light blonde. I mean, it had to be a dye job, man, because he used to say...
I'm dying over here.
Are you thinking of Towhead?
Yeah, Towhead.
Right, and this is sort of regarding what you guys were talking about yesterday, but what was that guy who worked alongside Billy Graham and he wrote a book, and you used to talk about the book a while back?
Oh, the guy that died. Oh, man.
Yeah, he was like his right-hand man.
Farewell to God.
Farewell to God by Charles...
Templeton?
Nelson Riley.
Yeah, Charles Nelson Riley. No, we'll find it for you. It's a great book. Excellent book.
And I tried to find it a while back, and I couldn't. I looked for it. I couldn't find it anywhere.
Well, he was Canadian, so you have to probably look on a Canadian. In fact, I don't think for a long time the American bookstores wouldn't carry it.
Charles Templeton.
Charles Templeton. Where'd you come up with that?
I googled it. Amazon.
That's it.
So
And
you can get it from Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Charles
And
Templeton.
I used to listen to you in Tampa, and you used to be alongside Rick and Suds and that.
Right.
The Blob guy? What's his name?
Blob Lassiter.
Oh, that's his name. Okay.
Blabo.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Slavo. Okay, have a great day, Pally, and get him out of your mind, please.
Will do.
See ya. El Blabo. Let's see. Let me start by saying I never listened to talk radio until I heard your show about 7 years ago. I've never stopped since. It's by far the best out there, but boy, your taste in music, entertainment, and food leave much to be desired. Just say no to Mo, it says. Well,
your taste in food is impeccable. What's
my taste in food is sensational. You don't get to be this. Well, no, that's not true. Some people just are slobs to eat everything. Like Fat Boy. I wouldn't say because he weighs 600 pounds he's got impeccable taste. But I have great taste in food. Now, what's the other ones? Entertainment. Now, that's not correct. And music? Hey, I'm an old fuddy-duddy. That's all. And I like the music I grew up with. And if you don't like it, too bad. Your mama. Oh, here it is.
My mama.
Fractured Fairy Tales and Wonder
Right.
Dog. Now, Fractured Fairy Tales, that was also...
That was part of the show, the Rocky and Bullwinkle.
There was a segment on Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Right.
So let's just leave it at that. Little this, little that. Now, as we're
Wonder
approaching 1 o'clock... Huh?
I think they said Wonder Dog.
Right. You didn't like that?
Well, I liked Underdog better.
Oh, it's... You see how easily I got sucked in there? I thought they were talking about Stevie Wonder Dog.
Wonder Dog.
Oh, look at the poll, Josh. Look at that poll.
Why are people always telling that to him?
Grab a hold of your kneecaps and spin around in that chair.
This is
1,007
Neil
votes.
Rogers.
I got 1,008.
It's 560
Mm-hmm. Now, this has to be a mistake, doesn't it?
It must be.
It must be a Fig Newton of my imagination.
Another error, and here
I know that George Corso came in there and fixed that audio vault impeccably. Well, I can always...
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, never mind.
Oh. Do we have Bill Cosby show on there?
Oh, let's try it now.
Oh.
So, this is Arnold. This is not a tumor. It's the 1 to 2 hour.
Did you see Will and Grace last night?
Sure, that was really
that was great. I like the part when he said, get this, have a seat. Have a seat. That's great comedy writing. And that Brian Williams, the way he tilts his head down like Ed Murrow, now that's fair and balanced news coverage. I still can't get the image of dead bodies floating down Bourbon Street out of my mind. Well, what you ought to do is watch an episode of Joey tonight.
I like Joey.
Sure. It's all part of the quality deprogramming provided by the 5th largest defense contractor in the world.
Law and order, SUV and SBU. Does that be you?
Hey, I'm going to give you another show of the same genre as WKRP in Cincinnati. Same era, not even the least bit humorous, very annoying characters.
It's a little older than KRP,
You fairy. Welcome back.
And what a bad song, by the way.
Yeah, song sucked and the show sucked. What was the show with Hal Linden that was so boring?
Barney Miller.
Barney Miller.
That was funny.
Now, wasn't Abe Vigoda in that?
Yes, he was.
Tessio.
Right, and that was a funny show.
We could get that show off the hook for old time's sake. I hated that show.
Barney. It was funny.
I didn't think it was the least bit amusing.
Right.
Not
Some of the episodes
not even
were
a Snicker. Oh, I might have a Milky Way, but not a Snicker.
Okay.
See, it just goes to show you. It got different taste in comedy, okay? A lot of times the same. Now, for example, or in entertainment, we both love the Movie Network. Josh hated it because he's a young punk and he doesn't get it.
Well, I'm going to show it to him again when he's 40.
He still won't get it. He's from the wrong
he
generation. He's from the... You know what generation he's from? He's from the generation X.
Why?
Z.
Examine your zipper?
You know, I really get confused, when they... I hate to say, if I'm trying to spell a name or something up here.
Oh, you're doing
and
the
there's a
Z
Z
thing?
in it. And they really do say that.
I know.
They do say, how's it going, eh? And they also call the letter Z, Z. And occasionally, if you see the number 7 written out, it's got the little line through the 7.
And in school, they say marks instead of grades.
Do they really?
Yeah, they do.
How do you know that?
Because I watched
Groucho Marx.
Because I watched Degrassi, all the Degrassi.
Oh,
shows.
Degrassi High. Now that wasn't a comedy, but that was a pretty good show.
No, it's just damn good.
In the beginning.
And the
But then
the
again,
new
now,
Degrassi
see,
is good.
now you get into an area of perversion. I really know where your mind is going with that
No, you
Degrassi
don't.
High. Those were young people, all of them underage, although some of them very close to legal age, and we could check ID.
We watch it as a family and always have.
Now, Family, with that was an interesting show, Family, with
Never
Willie.
watched it.
He gave me the Willies.
Never watched
It was okay.
Didn't do anything for me.
And a whole bunch of them. What was her name? Seda Thompson. And then the guy that played the husband just died not that long ago. The guy with the real raccoon, deep-set eyes.
I don't know.
Family. Guarantee you Josh will
Don't know.
Google that TV show and he'll have the guy's name in a heartbeat.
Here he goes.
Family.
He's Googling. All right. I won't if you won't.
Yeah.
I hated that song.
Well, what about...
Even worse than that other
what about
Scarborough song. Sesame Street. What's not to like?
Yeah, we're not going to put little kid shows on there.
It's not a comedy. It's an educational show. Addams Family. Cute. Sometimes funny.
See, I put that right in the same category.
Oh, I think I even have some
This is Bob Denver's dead, by the way.
I got nothing for you on that.
I beg your pardon?
I got Family Guy.
No, you got to put in Google TV show Family.
What do you think I did?
Boy, talk about hostile. And I noticed that check cleared already. That's why all
Did
of
you
a
notice
sudden
that? Did you?
Yeah, that's why he's getting hostile now, because he knows I can't stop it now. Anyway. So here's more on that story, which I don't know. I thought this was interesting, especially for people who are planning to bail out of the U.S. pretty soon. The way things are going, things are a little bit askew. Vancouver tops livability ranking, according to a new survey by the Economist Intelligence Unit. A new survey by the unit assessing the livability of 127 cities worldwide has found Vancouver to be the most attractive destination. I know a lot of this is repeated yesterday, but a lot of people didn't hear it, number one, and it's a little more in detail. The survey shows cities in Canada, Australia, Austria, and Switzerland as the most ideal destinations thanks to a widespread availability of goods and services, low personal risk, and an effective infrastructure. John Copestake, editor of the report, comments, in the current global political climate, it's no surprise that the most desirable destinations are those with a lower perceived threat of terrorism. The livability ranking, part of the worldwide cost of living survey, assesses living conditions in 127 cities around the world by looking at nearly 40 individual indicators grouped into 5 categories: stability, healthcare, what's that? Culture and environment, education, and infrastructure. The survey gives a rating of 0 to 100% and judges a city with a lower score to be the more attractive destination. A rating of 20% is where real problems are seen to begin. Anything over 50% places severe restrictions on a lifestyle. In other words, you don't want to be there, like Hialeah.
Right.
63 cities, almost half those surveyed in the total, fall into the top livability bracket. This reflects the fact that many global business centers have developed an infrastructure and widespread availability. Still, the overwhelming majority of cities in the top livability range are based in Western Europe and North America, with Western Europe having the slight edge. Only 3 cities in Eastern Europe fall into this bracket, along with 13 cities from Asia. All cities in North America and Western Europe have ratings below 20%. In contrast, all cities in Latin America, Africa, and the Middle East exceed this. The worst destinations in the survey are those of Algiers and Port Moresby in Papua New Guinea, where many aspects of daily life present challenges. All 10 cities where the livability index exceeds 50% are in Asia, Africa, or the Middle East. Despite the clear difference in living standards between Eastern and Western Europe, the expansion of EU and strong economic development experienced in Eastern Europe since the breakup of the Soviet Union is helping the East catch up with the West. The 3 cities in Eastern Europe with the best livability indices, Budapest, Bratislava, and Prague. Oh, got to go to Budapest and Prague. Are found in EU. What?
I'd love to, but
yeah, I will next year. Factors such as improved transport and communications infrastructure, along with greater availability of goods, services, and recreational activities, have played a part in slowly bringing these cities into line with the West. Much less desirable are states beset by corruption and instability further to the east. Tashkent and Baku in the former Soviet republics of Uzbekistan and Azerbaijan score among the worst in the region, with ratings of 42 and 38%. Both countries are prone to corruption and civil unrest, with the threat of petty crime, terror, and lack of general amenities also playing part. Istanbul in Turkey has an unenviable livability rating of 39%, in part due to recent terror attacks, including the 2003 attacks, which specifically targeted expatriates. Conversely, Austria's capital, Vienna, shares joint second spot with Geneva, Switzerland, not Geneva, New York. Both cities have a rating of 2%, with their climates a factor beyond human control is the main pitfall to live there. Athens, the least livable destination in Western Europe, also suffers from climate issues. although its infrastructure also serves to bring it down its ranking. Despite this, Athens still occupies the top tier of Economist Intelligence Unit's livability scale. Athens, never been there. A lot of bad air and a lot of very hairy people.
Don't like the Greeks, do you?
Don't like. I say that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know any Greeks. With low crime, little threat from instability or terrorism, and a highly developed infrastructure, Canada has the most livable destinations in the world. Oh yeah. How do you like that, eh? With a rating of just 1% as a result of a small threat from petty crime, Vancouver is the highest-ranked city of all 127 surveyed. A further two Canadian cities, Calgary and Toronto, feature in the top 5 with ratings of just 3%. They're tied.
Wow.
Although higher crime rates and a greater threat of terror puts U.S. cities below those of Canada, U.S. cities are still among the world's most livable. Cleveland and Pittsburgh are the joint best-scoring cities in the U.S., 7%, enjoying 26th place in the global ranking. A lack of availability of recreational activities and certain infrastructural shortfalls put Lexington as the least livable U.S. city surveyed. Lexington, Kentucky, in 56th place, although its ranking of 13% is still mighty low. See, I'm trying to find, and eventually we will find the whole list here.
Without having to pay for it.
Huh?
Without having to pay for it.
Oh, yeah, we don't want to do that. Although no Latin American city survey manages to present ideal living conditions, neither do any fall into the category where extreme difficulties are faced. Although Bogota and Colombia, 117th, comes close with a rating of 49%. Bogota, like Caracas, Venezuela, has been subject to high-profile levels of instability, unrest, and violence. You don't want to go there.
No.
I'm telling you, that experience driving from the airport into downtown Caracas a few years ago, that was a revelation without the Bible. All those tin-roofed huts up in the Las Montañas, man, zillions of them, all with little TV antennas on top, of course.
Well, at least they're connected.
And then you get into downtown, and the area is just teeming with people. It's like you're jammed into a sardine can.
No thanks.
And the airport was like paramilitary atmosphere. You know, they were all had their camouflage suits on and the whole deal. Kind of scary. Kind of like what the U.S. is going to be in about 2 years.
What do you mean 2 years?
In 2 minutes. Two cities score 90% and 75%. Not bad. The higher the number, the worse it is. Due to widespread guerrilla warfare in Colombia and violent civil unrest in opposition to Venezuela's President Hugo Chavez. Come on, Pat Robertson. Let's take him out for dinner. With scores of 20%, Montevideo in Uruguay, Santiago in Chile, and Buenos Aires in Argentina, 64th joint, offer the best living conditions in Latin America. That's not too good. This is largely thanks to relative efficient infrastructure and the availability of goods and services. They are closely followed by U.S. Commonwealth Territory San Juan and Puerto Rico, 23%, ranked number 68, and San Jose and Costa Rica, ranked 70th, 24%. Latin America's longest-serving unbroken democracy, Costa Rica. Alongside Canada, Australia's got some of the most livable places in the world. Melbourne is ranked second overall with a rating of just 2%. Perth, Adelaide, and Sydney join Zurich. Toronto and Calgary enjoy fifth place with ratings of 3%. Just below this, Brisbane enjoyed 11th. Elsewhere in the region, cities in Japan, New Zealand, Hong Kong, South Korea, Singapore, and Taiwan all offer good standard of living, with a humid climate bringing scores down a wee bit. Just north of Australia, however, a very different picture emerges, with Port Moresby, Papua New Guinea, returning the worst joint score of all 127 cities surveyed with a rating of 66%. In fact, if you go over there and just walk around the streets, they're all yelling the same thing.
I'm dying over here.
They suffer from high crime rates, corruption, instability, low availability of entertainment, goods or services, and a dilapidated infrastructure. The proximity of Port Moresby to Australia highlights the two-tiered nature of livability in Asian countries, with a number of well-developed urban centers next door to countries where less favorable conditions apply. How do you like that? Here's a fax that says, "Hiya, Pally. How about Good Times for the Pool?" Had one of the classic theme songs that George hates like poison. I'm so glad you mentioned that. I don't know why.
Well, I don't hate it. I just don't like it. Not like that Welcome Back Cotter theme. Now, I hate that.
It's not on here. I hate that. Have to find the right disc that it's on.
Believe it or not, Joey Scarborough or whatever the hell that guy's name is.
Yeah. What about it?
Hate it. Yeah, that's the one.
Oh.
No, I didn't start out hating it.
What?
But about the 500th time I heard it, I decided to hate it. Here, I got Good Times here.
Fairy. Got Good Times?
Yeah, here it is.
A little bit. So what would you rather have, a jelly roll or an Esther roll? Or a rock and roll? Okay, let me do the break, please.
All right.
Well, what the hell was that?
Good Times, man.
Good Times, my ass.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. I'll dig it up. You're just not going to do it because you're a hard ass.
I don't have it. That's all I got.
You don't have it?
I don't.
Oh, well, wait a minute. Who is that? Is that Sly and the Family Stone?
Close.
Cool him again?
Chic.
Who is it?
Chic.
Oh, Chic. Oh,
You know the
Chic.
Chic?
Oh, I don't want to hear that. Chic.
Come on, Neil, you can do better than that.
Temporary layoffs. Good times. Easy credit rip-offs. Good times. Scratching and surviving. Good times. Hanging in a job. Good times. Ain't we lucky we got 'em.
See, let me just say this to you. Anybody who doesn't like that theme has got some kind of a problem.
Well, that goes without
I
saying.
mean, you give me a song that's about my bad taste. Even Josh would agree that's a pretty damn good theme song.
Yeah, I was listening to my car this morning on the way here.
No, seriously, you don't like that? As TV themes go, in other words, you don't listen to TV themes in your car or in your home. You don't sit there with your iPod or your Sony Walkman listening to TV themes unless you're a crazy person. You don't like that theme?
It's okay. It's fine.
You know, he still believes you're going to buy him that TV, you know?
Yeah, no, he knows better.
116 at 560 WQM, the
Roger's got.
The federal government just learned about those people today.
Under withering criticism from both parties, Brown offered no apology and mostly blamed others for the debacle that cost hundreds of lives.
Mike Brown, there's no one left to blame. I said, Brownie, you're the government shame. I said, Brownie, 'cause your career's up in flame. There's no one I know who's more lame. George Bush, you'd better make him shut up before he says it was you who messed up. You can defend him, but I'm sure you will find many think that he should do time.
I was just tired and misspoke.
He's way too dumb to run the FEMA. Some people died when he ran FEMA. Now that everyone knows that your leadership blows, you can go back to your horse shows.
Today, both Republicans and Democrats criticize the fact that Brown is still on the federal payroll. That may be because as long as he remains an administration official, his testimony must be cleared by the White House.
You fairy. 21 past 1, and of course, we're getting inundated with faxes and calls about Geldy's great debut, his voice of the Panthers last night.
It's a flood like the one that's about to take place outside.
What is it?
It's pitch black outside.
Oh, yeah.
Any
Well, let me
minute
look
now.
at that Miami radar.
Yeah,
I checked it earlier, and there wasn't much going on, but now we got Teresa and Stan. Or Tammy and Stan.
My favorite duet.
Or is it Uzbekistan? Huh? Let me look at that National Weather Service radar momentarily here. Let me put the emotion in the... Oh, gee. Woo! There's some yellows and some reds and some stuff coming.
Really? You got any on you?
Kind of like whipping around. Some red peppers and green peppers and yellow ones. Let's see what this fax is you just sent from Lori in Baltimore. We got a listener in Baltimore. Baltimore, how you like that?
All right.
Lori has one for the poll. How about the Three Stooges? How about that?
All right.
Remember what they used to say? Yeah, I think Mo said that. They had their own show every Saturday morning when I was a kid, and you can still find them on cable sometime if you're lucky. Also, you were talking about Wonder Dog earlier. I think you meant Underdog. Yeah, no, the fax said Wonder Dog. Okay. Whose real-life voice was that of the late, great... Really? I never knew that. Hey, the late, great, nebbish Wally Cox. Hey, Wally.
You fairy.
Who was also in Hollywood Squares frequently. Who was Wally Cox hanging out with? Was it Raymond Burr? Who was it that lived with Wally Cox?
I don't keep track of these things.
They were
Boca Brian does.
Huh?
Let's see if Brian...
Oh, I know who it was. You'll never guess, by the way.
No, I won't.
Who was bisexual and very big and fat. Okay, now don't say anything.
Fatty Arbuckle.
No. Let me give you a clue.
What's the matter with you? I think your brain is going soft.
Really?
Marlon Brando and Wally Cox.
If you gave me a million guesses, I still wouldn't have gotten it.
Well, there you go. It says, I still remember the Wonder Bra bit you used to play that was based on the Underdog character. Can we,
Wonder Bra. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Are you sure?
Positive.
There's only one way to find out. There's
right.
Wonder Boy.
And
and
play
Wonder
it live
Jeans,
on the air
and there's...
without auditioning it.
Oh. Have a great day to you too, Lori.
Some women need a little help to make their shape look somewhat svelte. They used to try a bustier, but now they can go out and pay for Wonder Bra. Wonder Bra. Wonder Bra.
When we last visited our hero, Wonder Bra was trying to save his beloved Pure Polly sweetbreads from the clutches of the evil Simon Bar Cleavage.
Wonder Bra.
Wonder Bra can't help you now. Pure Polly sweet breads. Simon says, stay to your knees.
I'm totally lacking in support. Help!
Wonder Bra!
Though the situation's bleak, poor Polly don't pout. Wonder Bra's here to make them stick out.
Wonder Bra, my hero.
Oh, drats! Foiled again, but I'll be back, Wonder Bra!
Stop him, Wonder Bra. He's getting away.
Stop crying, Polly. Though the villain is jerky, your bust line is back, and your hooters are perky.
So now the world is safe for boobs that want to plump up and protrude. When cleavage is a must to show, there's only one place you can go to. Wonder Bra. Wonder Bra. Wonder Bra.
Saturday morning, join Bullwinkle J. Moose and his bully buddy, Saddam Hussein, for the madcap misadventures of Iraqi and Bullwinkle.
Beanie, beanie, chili beanie. The United Nations is about to speak.
Who cares? Give me that crystal ball.
Reckon he got up on the wrong side of the bunker. Perhaps a poem will help. Saddam, Saddam, you're one whacked out dude. And just like your oil, you're smelly and crude.
Hey, Moose, did you see your squirrel friend?
Oh, you mean Rocky? Sure, he's over there. And over there, and over there. Oh, my! Rocky! What do you know about this, Saddam?
Don't ask me. Ask my auntie.
Auntie? Auntie who?
Auntie Aircraft.
Oh, no!
Join us next time for Oil's Well That Ends Well or Kiss Your Gas Goodbye.
Hey, Moose, what's weather forecast for today?
Balmy.
Iraqi and Bullwinkle, Saturday morning on Nickelodeon.
I'll tell you who else used to be doing voices on that show was Hans Conried.
Okay.
And you're saying,
Who's that?
You know Hans Conried, even though he's been dead 100 years. Huh?
Tell me something else that I should know him from.
Bald, very funny guy. Used to be on Pantomime Quiz with Mike
that guy.
Stuckey and Hermione Gingold. You have no idea.
No,
who
none.
that is. Now, here's another show that some people might say was funny, but I'll tell you right now, nobody watched it because there was any humor on this show. Trust me. There are only a couple of reasons anybody watched that show. They were either obsessed with Susan Day or Shirley Jones or both of them, or obsessed with David Cassidy, who had better hair than either one of them. And, of course, you can't imagine which one was my kid.
I don't remember laughing once at that show.
No, and especially when Danny Bonaduce thing.
Oh, careful.
No, I can't say that no more. Danny Bonaduce bag. Tushy bag. Yeah, we can say Tushy bag. Although some people we know in the building bring their own Tushy bag to work with them. We've got, and it's not even 130 quite yet. It's not one.
About 30, man.
1,083 votes. I mean, we'll do 1,100 like it was like getting up and just falling right down. Aren't you excited?
Thrilled to death.
In fact, if I were you, I'd run right into Greg right now and say, I want a huge raise. We're going to have 1,100 votes today. He'll look at you and go, no, as a matter of fact, I take that back. He'll look at you and go, just like that. Make no mistake about it.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
And hold it.
Was moving on up, gas is so high, the cars have gone right up to the sky. Moving on up, gas is so high, and there ain't no relief in sight. Before I go to the station, I gotta ride me a bank. Takes a lot of dead presidents just to fill up with that tank. Take a look at the gas gauge. The needle pointing to E. We're gonna fill up. Don't you worry, baby. But now we can't afford to eat. We're moving on up. Price is so high. There's too much demand and no supply. We're moving on up. Gas is so high. There ain't no relief in sight.
You know, we had a great poll idea, and I wrote it down somewhere. I can't remember where I wrote it earlier today. Remember what it was?
What's your idea of heaven? Something like that.
Oh, yeah. That's it. Boy, good for George.
I should have pretended to forget so I could use it next week. You know how precious those ideas are.
What's your idea of heaven? I like that a lot. And I'm actually going to write down now on something I'm not going to throw out. See, I think that was the problem. Because you know me, I throw all this stuff in the garbage.
Like in a rage. Now, this is a great song.
Yes.
Speaking of soul. Especially like the beans part.
Look at this. Look who wrote the theme from Good Times, or maybe sings it. I guess is this who wrote it or sings it? Jim Gilstrap and Blinky Williams. Jim Jockstrap. I just don't understand. I mean, I hated that show, but I think it's a fantastic theme song. Well, it's, you know.
Yeah.
Different taste. Oh, look at that huge, all that blob. There's Tammy and there's Stan and there's Rain and, oh boy.
Tammy, really? A good thing as opposed to a bad thing.
Rob's all choked up now, Rob Marciano. He's back in the studio with a nice suit and tie on.
Tammy off towards the east a little bit.
Take him off now, Rob.
Colder air dropping down to the, into the...
Oh, he looks a lot better now. He's not out there in the storms, you know, all like beaten and haggard.
63
like
in
Haggard.
Chicago. Leaves are starting to turn, and we're starting to feel a bit of a...
48 Minneapolis. Yeah, pretty soon it's going to start getting a little on the, you know, and then you're going to say, see, we told you. Got snow on the ground, stuff like that. And I'll say, yeah, but we're not drowning over here. Andy in Miami says, what about Police Squad with Leslie Nielsen? Well, that show was on for about, 5 minutes?
Thereabouts. Don't exaggerate.
It says, although it had a limited number of episodes, it did lead to the Naked Gun movies. Well, I'm sure it was very good, and I do recall seeing, I don't know. I mean, it was on for...
30 seconds.
Yeah, half a week.
I think they canceled
it's hard
it
to put
during
a show
the
on that
break.
because, again, the poll question is the funniest TV show of all time.
Right.
And, of course, I love Leslie Nielsen. Good Canadian boy, by the way, eh? But get serious, Andy. Python burst after trying to eat gator. It's got the picture here.
Oh, we've seen it. They're passing it around all over town. And the picture, too.
Have you really?
Yeah. It's big talk.
In Everglades National Park. There it is. Which goes to show, you know the old expression, your eyes are bigger than your stomach? When people can't finish a meal, especially kids. Oh, yeah, he's got big eyes, but his eyes are bigger than his stomach. Well, I guess the same could be said of the python. Oh, and isn't it appropriate? We're doing the Monty Python. Now, what the hell is that thing about, I don't know if we can play that anymore. Every sperm, is that what that's called?
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, I've got something to tell the whole family.
It's bleep.
Oh, quick, go get the other thing,
Is
Gordon.
it bleep?
It is.
The mill's closed. There's no more work. We're destitute. Come in, my little love. I've got no option but to sell you all for scientific experiments. No, that's the way it is, my love. Blame the Catholic Church for not letting me wear one of those little rubber things.
They're the best, Monty Python.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely the best. And, of course, Condoleezza said it was a real laugh riot, that Monty Python play in New York, you know, just before she went out and bought her $7,000 designer shoes for her next boyfriend. The alligator has some foreign competition at the top of the Everglades food chain, and the results of the struggle are horror movie messy. A 13-foot Burmese python recently burst after it apparently tried to swallow a live 6-foot alligator whole. Oh, don't swallow those gators.
Especially their holes.
The incidence has heightened biologists' fears that the non-native snakes could threaten a host of other animal species in the Everglades. It means nothing in the Everglades is safe from pythons, a top-down predator, said Frank Mazzotti, a University of Florida wildlife professor. A lot of wildlife at the University of Florida. Over the years, many pythons have been abandoned in the Everglades by pet owners. The gory evidence of the latest gator-python encounter, the fourth documented in the past 3 years, was discovered and photographed last week by a helicopter pilot and wildlife researcher. The snake was found with the gator's hindquarters protruding from its midsection. Mazzotti said the alligator may have clawed at the python's stomach as the snake tried to digest it. Oh, man, getting eaten from the inside. In previous incidents, the alligator won or the battle was an apparent draw. There had been some hope that gators can control Burmese pythons, Mazzotti said. This indicates to me it's going to be an even draw. Sometimes alligators are going to win, and sometimes the python will win. And sometimes Eric Idle might do it. It's unknown how many pythons are competed with the thousands of alligators in the glades, but at least 150 have been captured in the past 2 years, said Joe Wasilewski, a wildlife biologist and crocodile tracker. What do you do for life? I'm a crocodile tracker.
Right.
Yeah. Pythons could threaten many. Remember that song by the OJs, I'm a crocodile tracker?
No.
Pythons could threaten many smaller species that conservationists are trying to protect, including other reptiles, otters, squirrels, wood storks, and sparrows. Wasilewski said 10 or 20-foot python could also pose a risk to unwary human, especially a child. He added, I don't think this is an imminent threat. This is not a be afraid, be very afraid situation. That's exactly what it says here. This is not a
What?
This is not a be afraid, be very afraid situation.
Be afraid.
Yeah.
Be very afraid.
It's not. So there you go. Oh, and guess who's facing arrest now?
I give up.
Kate Moss will be arrested on
leave her
suspicion of supplying cocaine when she returns to Britain.
Leave her
The
alone.
shamed super. This is in the Online Sun, the British Rupert Murdoch tabloid.
That poor girl.
The shamed supermodel will be asked to attend a 10-day police station where she'll be formally arrested, interviewed under caution. You know, that's supposed to be in the English language. I can't understand what those silly-ass Brits are talking about. She will attend a police station, like attending a funeral, I guess, maybe her own, and be formally arrested and interviewed under caution. So maybe the caution lights are on. I don't have any clue what that means.
Does that mean she gets to have a lawyer?
Like in a race, like at Indy, you know, the caution light, the yellow flag. Huh? As they say in China, the yellow flag.
Yay.
1,111 votes. This and few of them are even real.
I got plans for that money already.
Oh my God, we're gonna have a bonus. They're gonna come in there just tossing $100 bills in every direction. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Matty Bell comes in there with his checkbook right now and writes and gives both of you guys a big fat one. Or I was going to say, it gives you both a big wet one. Hey, as well, congratulations. Speaking of Matty Bell, did we ever get those Hispanic numbers from the spring book that I had begged for the other day? No. I begged for them, and I guarantee the reason being that they're really bad. We don't have, in spite of the wishful thinking of a few of our Julios out there, we have a very decreasing number. You know, the Marriott boat lift was bad enough, and the fact that I spoke the truth then, that was very bad, and you're supposed to suck up, you know. And then, of course, we had the Alienito thing, and that was just when we were starting to mend our fence a little bit, that was bad.
Still.
It wasn't just, huh?
And you're still in denial. You always have been.
About what?
About the Hispanic audience, those that speak English anyway. They all listen.
Well, you can say they all listen, but so evidently they lie a lot. They don't put it down in the diaries because once upon a time we did fairly well, but in recent years, it's especially since Little Alienito.
Right, we'll see.
60 Minutes fame. Huh?
We'll see. I'll see if I can track him down.
On the one hand, you're always telling me that you don't know anybody who listens to the show. And then on the other hand, you're telling me, of course, you don't hang out with Julios anyway.
That's right.
Except your relatives, and who the hell wants them?
See, the operative word is hang out.
Yeah.
See, I know people that listen to the show. I don't have friends who do.
I see.
Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
The friends that I have, I've had for years. That
if
long
they were your
I got
friends,
in here.
they would no longer be friends after listening to the show.
I'd have to really talk to them about that.
Funniest TV show of all time, Seinfeld, 175, All in the Family, 143. A big crocodile, a big alligator tear comes to my eye, because I think it's a croc. Monty Python Flying Circus, 84. South Park, 79. Simpsons, 78. Chappelle Show, 56. Family Guy, 49. Married with Children's, 45. And Cheers has got...
About 30, man. This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
She takes long daytime naps. She leaves her teeth right on the bedside table. All through the day, people would say, Deme's older than his mother. According to his friends, his new wife may wear the pins. Deme's older than his mother.
Just let me put it this way. Anybody who was married to Bruce Willis is definitely tainted goods from where I sit. That's all I can tell you.
No argument.
1,137 votes on the poll. Damn near 1,200 by the end of the show. I'm pretty impressed. Takes a lot to impress this old queen, but nevertheless, that is really something.
And you're right. I mean, it's definitely a freak job there on Seinfeld.
You think?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because, I mean, yeah, it would be in the top 10.
I think Tom Jick is doing it.
There you go.
I think Jick and his buddies over there, his racetrack pals, are doing over there at the Scum Sentinel. They're creeping it because they like. Although if Jick were doing it, Chia's would be way up there. Only got 31. Tonight Show and Johnny Carson got
about 30, man.
Anyway, you're like this story from Federal Way, Washington. Don't make a federal case out of it. I have no idea where that is, having never been in the Great Northwest. Maybe when Josh comes back from Seattle, he'll give us the lowdown.
Maybe.
Have you ever been there before?
No.
Really? George has. He's been all over that neck of the woods.
Yes, indeed. Cooley Dam.
It's just a wonderful place.
Yes, it is.
Anyway, 2 high school boys swallowed goldfish out in a school assembly and were punished with a stern talking to. In fact, they had to get Howard on the speakerphone. Animal rights activists said that's not enough. After learning about this stunt late last month, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals... Oh, no, here we go again with those people.
Peter.
Oh, boy. Urged Federal Way Public Schools to adopt a district-wide policy prohibiting the use of animules in school functions. Oh, Cracker, please. We feel certain you'll agree that killing fish in the name of school spirit is unacceptable, wrote Jennifer O'Connor, an official with the Norfolk, Virginia-based group. Well, guess what, honey? Norfolk you. School district spokeswoman Diane Turner said the boys ate goldfish on September 20th, apparently after promising to do so if one of them got elected as a class officer. Turner said school officials lectured the boys on proper behavior and called their parents. They received no further discipline. These are good kids who made bad decisions, Turner said. What they did was not appropriate. We used it as a teaching moment. So PETA has to stick their nose into the public school system in the state of Washington because some kid swallowed a goldfish.
You know, lots of people eat fish all the time across this country.
Yeah.
And the world.
Every day. And chickens and geese and ducks and cows and all of these things.
Buffalo and
pigs.
All of these things.
Oh, speaking of pigs, how's that bratwurst coming? You get Gary Sarner one of them kosher brats?
Extra cheesy.
Extra cheesy kosher brat for Gary Sarner. It's straight, Gary. You're going to rot in hell. Well, even without eating it, he'll still rot in hell. Investigators say, here's a little follow-up. We like to keep you abreast. Lindsay Lohan, who's one of the most boring people ever to come down the pike. Why anybody cares about Lindsay Lohan just puzzles the hell out of me. Investigators said today they don't believe that celebrity photographers caused teenage actress Lindsay Lohan to crash her Mercedes into a delivery truck. It was not a factor. It didn't cause the accident, said L.A. County Sheriff's Deputy Scott Gage. Maybe she had a call on her cell phone. Maybe it was the Bill O'Reilly factor that caused her to crash. Maybe it was that. Could have been the O'Reilly factor.
The hot sex factor.
The agency's conclusion contradicts statements made by Lohan's representative and leaves the official cause of the accident yet to be determined. Within seconds of the crash, at least 2 photographers were snapping images of the distressed actress, witnesses be saying. Gage said that the investigation has shown that the case may be a civil matter. He said a citation may be issued for violation of the California Vehicle Code and infraction. We already told you what the accident was. It was a very violent crash, said witness Catherine Star 50 of New Orleans. It was such a loud impact, it was explosive. The airbags on Lohan's Mercedes deployed, and the actress and her friend opened their doors and ran to a nearby antique store. The van's driver stumbled onto the street, was helped by employees of the restaurant, witnesses said. The stretch of Robertson where the crash occurred is a haunt for stars who are drawn to its boutique and eateries. The area also draws celebrity photographers looking to snap candid photos. It was in the same neighborhood 4 months ago that Lohan made headlines with a celebrity photographer when he rammed his car into her car. Boy, she's sure having lots of accidents. That accident gave rise to a special investigative task force that prosecutes criminal cases against aggressive paparazzi. On May 31, police arrested Galo Ramirez, 24, on suspicion of assault with a deadly weapon, and said Ramirez was attempting to photograph Lohan when the collision occurred. Several other paparazzi were on the scene almost immediately to photograph and videotape a distressed Lohan. The crash prompted a new law that imposes steep financial penalties for paparazzi who commit assaults in their pursuit of celebrity photos. The measure, which goes into effect January 1, was signed on Friday by Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, what would you rather be, a paparazzi or a peasantavante?
I want to be that stalkerazzi I keep
or a
hearing about.
strunz. How about a peasantavante of the church?
What's a strunz anyway?
Ask, what's his name? He'll tell you. Ask
What's his name?
Sonny Santino.
Won't see him no more.
Yeah, but you still see James Caan. Now, who was telling me that they didn't see the movie Misery with James Caan and Kathy Bates, or they didn't like it?
I don't know. I saw it.
Maybe it was Josh.
Josh, did you see Misery?
I did not.
He said he saw Network, and that was Misery. That's what he said. He doesn't like it, that's all. He just doesn't like it. At least he's being honest about it. He's not just sucking up just to be out.
I told you what I liked about the movie, and I told you what I didn't like.
What's that? When Faye Dunaway was on top of the world? Or on top of William Holden?
No, I like the message. I agree with what the movie's about.
But it was just too long and ponderous.
It didn't keep my attention, obviously.
Now, what about the speech by Ned Beatty when Howard Beale was sitting at the ITT boardroom?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this
Martin.
You didn't like that scene?
I've chosen you to preach this, Mr. Beale.
Why me?
Because you're on television, dummy.
Where do you get that? Do I
You
have
got
that?
it? Yes, you do.
Oh, no.
Listen to me. Television is not the truth. So turn off your television sets. Turn them off right in the middle of the set.
I've chosen you to preach this, Mr. Beale.
Why me?
Because you're on television, dummy.
Hey, don't get sore about it, Ned. Well, he didn't get sore since Deliverance up there in the woods in Aintree. Aintree? The Senate defied the White House yesterday, but I tell you, this Bushmeister, he's got a real tourist, man. He don't even know what it means. The Senate defied the White House yesterday and voted to set new limits on interrogating detainees in Iraq and elsewhere, underscoring Congress's growing concerns about reports of abuse of suspected terrorists and others in military custody. 46 Republicans joined 43 Democrats and one independent in voting to define and limit interrogation techniques that U.S. troops may use against terrorism suspects, the latest sign that alarm over treatment of prisoners in the Middle East and that Gitmo Bay, Cuba, is widespread in both parties.
Abu Ghraib.
The White House had fought to prevent the restrictions, with Vice President Cheney visiting key Republicans in July and a spokesman yesterday repeating President Bush's threat to veto the larger bill that the language is now attached to, a $440 billion military spending measure. How do you like that? And Alberto Gonzalez, the torturing AG.
Torturmata?
Oh, yeah. He wants to, put them all in the old noose. Okay, I think when we definitely do the break, because we're going to have, close to 1,200 votes today.
Wow.
And, like I said, maybe 20 or 30 might even be real.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
The playing game. Fima, Fima, banana, Fima, Fima, Mima, Fima. Governor Blanco. Blanco, banana, Blanco, Blanco. Come on, everybody. I say now let's play a game. I bet you I can place the blame for the nasty hurricane. President Bush. Bush, banana, Bush, beef, more mush. Bush. Everybody blame Mayor Nagin. Go bacon, banana, bacon, beef, more Megan. Nagin. The blame game.
Oh, I come from Crawford, Texas, with a guitar on my knee. While they died in Louisiana, I raised cash for the T.O.P. Oh, Katrina, don't put no blame on me, 'cause I come from my vacation for a photo opportunity.
Swing your partner round and round. Now do a little swimming through New Orleans town. Swim to the left, to the right, here we go. Sling a little mud, now do-si-do.
Oh, Katrina, why didn't those people flee? 'Cause it's worse in Louisiana than it is for Iraqi.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so the consensus is Geldy's doing a phenomenal job. Isn't that what the consensus is? I think so.
Well, I heard from everybody except
I think
for
he's
that
going to be pretty good.
Dutch guy.
Yeah, well, except him. What the hell does he know about hockey anyway? Ever hear any Dutch hockey players except maybe, well, he's not Dutch. Who the hell's Harold, what is his name? Harold Ickes. Harold Snaps.
Who?
Anyway, 1,171 votes. What's the funniest TV show of all time, we asked today? I just might have time here to, read them all, the whole list. I'll tell you which has no votes so far. Happy Days, Laverne and Squirrely. Oh, I'm so glad Happy Days didn't get any. Laverne and Squirrely, Schlemiel Schlemazel, You Bet Your Life, Groucho Marx, Benson, Dick Van Dyke Show, WKRP in Cincinnati, Rocky and Bullwinkle and Good Times all had the big. Oh! How could Rocky and Bullwinkle not have any votes?
See? Same for WKRP.
Get out. You're putting that in the same category with Rocky and Bullwinkle?
No, totally.
You are a
different
communist, man.
Right.
No wonder those Julios hate your ass.
All of them, yeah.
I'll give you. We'll do it from the bottom up, okay? Bottoms up, as your president would say.
I've done that before.
Bewitched 1, Mork and Mindy 1, Nightcore 1, Frasier 1. 2, for Friends, Malcolm in the Middle, America's Funniest Home Videos, Jonathan Winter Show. 3, Trace, I Dream of Jeannie, The Addams Family, Get Smart, Are You Being Served, Hogan's Heroes. 4, Quattro, Soupy Sales Show, Mary Hartman, 70 Show, Ernie Kovacs Show and Taxi. 5, Cinque, The Munsters, Will and Grace, and Arrested Development. 6 votes for David Letterman. Solamente 6. So past 7. The Ali G Show has got 7. Now, what is that again?
HBO comedy show.
Is it funny?
No.
Oh. What? Oh, and the Three Stooges have 8. Oh, and I never played no Three Stooges stuff. What an idiot I am.
Oh, well.
Too bad. I can just play.
Doi, 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 doi.
Everybody Loves Raymond 9. Show Sid Caesar 9. I love Sid Caesar, but the only thing about him, he was always very nervous. Like, a nervous guy. And you get nervous watching him. Oh.
I thought that was part of his shtick.
No, it was not.
Really?
That was him.
Huh.
Steve Allen Show and SCTV and Curb Your Enthusiasm have 10. 11 for Laugh-In with Joanne Flug and Fanny Flagg. Fanny Paflag and Joanne Paflug and Artie Johnson and Rowan and Martin. Benny Hill Show 13. MASH 13. Gong Show 14. San Bernardino 14. In Living Color and The Daily Show with Jon Stewart 15 apiece. Carol Burnett Show 16. I Love Lucy 17. Lucy! The Honeymooners 19, Jackie Gleason's Show, and Saturday Night Live 20 apiece. Jefferson's 21. Well, I'm sure pleased as punch to see that. Faulty Towers 27. The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Here's...
About 30, man.
Johnny, 30. Cheers 31. Cheers. Married with Children 47. Family Guy 50. Chappelle Show 57. And he's not coming back because he just got millions of dollars and he said screw everybody, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much that's it. Good for him. I like guys like that. South Park 80, The Simpsons 81.
Blaming.
Monty Python's Flying Circus 86. All in the... Now, see, again, George thinks we're being freaked today, and you might be right because we got a very shockingly high number of votes. But who knows? See, because then if you say that, it sounds like sour grapes.
Well, I'm not sour about it. I like the show.
Still a battle. All in the Family 147. And Seinfeld, do you believe it?
No.
178.
Bye, bye, bye.